Good morning, everybody. We're going to be starting pretty soon, as we're all looking forward to it. This is the best gala of the year, I always think. 200 metres freestyle is going to be the first up for the boys. It's going to be 8 heats. We've got a remarkably stellar field here today. I've done a little bit of research in advance, and amongst all the swims just today, we have 138 swimmers who swam in British finals. Some of them are repeats, of course, but swimming today, we've got 68 boys and 70 girls who swam in the British finals earlier in the year. So I'll go quiet just for now. We'll soon have our officials, and I'm getting a big wave from Abingdon. Always punching above their weight. We love the Abingdon team. Okay, everyone. I'll go quiet for now, and looking forward to us all starting.
Please welcome your referees for this session. We have Roger Pryor from Slough Dolphins, and he's assisted by John from Hart. We have 2 starters for this session, one from the City of Milton Keynes and one from Lancing College. Officials, please take your places. Before the first event, I would remind swimmers that over-the-top starts will operate in this competition. Please remain in the water until the next race has started or until told to leave by an official. The first event this morning is the men's 200 metres freestyle in its event 101. There are 8 heats. Heat 1, referee.
And we're off. So we're going to have 8 heats in the 200 metres freestyle for boys. Lane 3 is vacant. Lane 4 is Anthony Kepper. In lane 5, Andrew Hooper and Archie McKenna in lane 6. We're a quarter of the way through, and in lane 5 is Andrew Hooper. I think that's fair and no less. I've only got the abbreviations here, so you're going to have to forgive me slightly with that. But we've got a nice tight race and a good little arrow formation to start with here. Now, at this event, we're going to see a couple of medalists from the British Summers. They're going to swim in a little bit, and altogether we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 swimmers who in August swam in the final there. With a nice strong start. Now all these boys have come in with entry times just over 2 minutes, so we need to look hard at that. We'll only even be able to break the 2-minute barrier, the slightly magic 2-minute barrier for the 200 free. And he's holding on. I think he just took about half a body length out to the field on the turn there. So Andrew Hooper, he comes in with an entry of 2:02.03. And unless something happens, he's going to break that time. But he's being competed with in lane 4 now. Anthony Kepper is catching up, I think, but it might just be a little bit too much. So, brilliant start here. In lane 5, Andrew Hooper. 2:02 was his entry time, and boom, he breaks the 2-minute barrier. Well done, Andrew. Great start to the session. In second place, Anthony Kepper, and third was Archie McKenna. Good swim, boys.
Heat 2, referee.
Okay, on to heat 2 then. In lane 1, Jack Pass from Sevenoaks. 2 is Oscar Behrens. I think that's Maidstone. I've asked to get some clarity on the club, so my apologies if I make some errors there. Noah Palmer in lane 3. Charlie Clark, our fastest qualifier from Guildford in lane 4, and I think he's got an early lead, just by a couple of hundredths of a second, from Felix Brockdorf, also at Guildford. So those boys are going to be training with each other every day. Ollie Mowbray in lane 6 from Amersham. Daniel John from Reading, I think, in lane 7. I won't announce Daniel's age, but suffice to say he is the veteran of the field. And Jacob Palmer in lane 8. None of these boys have entry times underneath the 2-minute mark, so that's what they'll be going for. And I bet my house on the fact that Charlie Clark in 4 and Felix in 5, they bang it up and down with each other in training every day of the week, and you can see that they're obviously gritting their teeth and trying to get one up over one another. Charlie in lane 4 is 1 year younger in swimming terms. He's a 15-year-old. Felix is a 16-year-old. Going out nicely in lane 8 is Jacob Palmer. Jacob Palmer entered with a 2:01.73. Let's see the turn. Lane 4 just touches ahead, and I think he takes a little bit of extra distance out of Felix. So we're approaching the end part here. Charlie has been leading, but he's pulling through now. Felix in lane 5. They're neck and neck. I'll tell you what, I think it's going to be a Guildford 1-2. That's an easy thing to predict, but who is going to actually take the race? It looks like lane 5, Felix Brockdorf by a nose in lane 5, and they both break the 2 minute. Well done, Felix in first place, Charlie in second. They both break the magic 2 minute barrier. Third place, great swim out in lane 7 from Daniel John. Good swim, boys.
Heat 3, referee.
We're on to heat 3 now. Jacob Pillager in lane 1 from Bicester, I think. In lane 2, Monty Smith from Wickham. Monty, it comes with a huge kind of expectations, I think. So he's an excellent swimmer. He's only 13. He's by far the youngest in the group. And he's got a fantastic long stroke there. In lane 3 is Dennis Mialwowski from Monson. Lane 4, Morgan Davis. Lane 5, Thomas Petschak. Thomas Jennings in 6. Daniel Fallon in 7. Joseph Reedhead in 8. Joseph's going particularly well out there in lane 8. He might be a bit of an outside burner. The boys in 4 and 5 have broken the 2 minute barrier, but most of the boys are still going to be trying to do that. Lane through, Dennis from Monson. I beg your pardon, lane 3, Dennis from Monson. He has broken the 2 minute barrier before, but only by 5/100ths of a second. Really good swim from Monty Smith in lane 2. Remember, he's punching above his weight here. He's significantly younger than the field. To go very well, Joseph Reedhead from Guildford out in lane 8, who is a 2:01 entry. But the race is dominated by Dennis in lane 3 from Monson. A 1:59.95 entry. That is dust now. Oh, we've got another quarter to go. He's not going to be breaking his PB or his entry time by 30 seconds. I got ahead of myself a little bit there. Lane 4 going nicely is Morgan Davis from Guildford. Guildford being very dominant in the early stages here, in the early heats. They've got some good young swimmers. Always competitive, of course. Now, I'll get my finishing right. So I think we pretty much give the race to Dennis, but who's going to come second? It looks like lane 5 is coming through. That's Thomas Petschak. In lane 3, our winner is Dennis. In lane 4, Thomas Petschak was second place. And in lane 4, Morgan Davis third. 7 of the 8 boys went under 2 minutes. That's worth a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Well done, boys.
Heat 4, referee.
Fastest start there was on the outside lanes, both of them. I think Edgar Stepniuk in lane 1 and Solomon Kendrick in 8. Have 1:59.43 entry. But the race is dominated from lane 3. Lane 3 seems to be the lane to be in today. James Renshaw, 1:59.07. He's actually extending his lead, I'd say. Lane 2, Damir Bajor from Wickham going nicely. But this is all about lane 3. I think he's actually not only a long lead, but he's pressing further ahead. In first place, let's have a look at the time now. I've still got another 2 lengths to go. I've done it for the second time. In lane 3 is James Renshaw. I'm getting laughs from Wendy, who's our announcer. Wendy Ford from Windsor. Oh, she's a pleasure to do this job with. Teasing me a little bit. The lead is extending in lane 3. That's James Renshaw. I'm slightly knocked off my stride here. Lane 1 going very well. Edgar Stepniuk is much harder in those outside lanes. because you've only got one person on your shoulder. So a big swim in from Edgar in lane 1. But in lane 3 is James, who comes first. Second place was lane 6, I think, Benjamin Mould. And in third place, George Pearson. Good swim, boys. Well done. That's the end of the heat 4.
Heat 5, referee.
In lane 1, Justin Christie, Joe Way in 2, Albert Branch in 3, Logan Winter in 4, Samuel Lowe in 5, James Taylor in 6, Alex Moore in 7, and Alfie Evans in 8. It is pretty much a blanket at the moment. If I've got to pick a leader, I'm going to go for lane 8, that's Alfie Evans. I think Alfie's from Reading, a 158.60 entry. I was right, yeah, he was just in the lead from Samuel Lowe in second place. But there's only tenths of a second in it for the whole field. Lane 5 going nicely. Pushing through now is Samuel Lowe of, oh, I think that's Guernsey, a 157.68. My apologies if I get the clubs wrong. But I'm doing my best here. I've only got the abbreviations, and they're not always as logical as you might imagine. Oh, I've got a bit of help here now. Okay, I'll be able to name the clubs going forward. That's very helpful, thank you very much. But for this race, pressing through in lane 5 now, looking very impressive is Samuel Lowe. As I say, I believe from Guernsey, I can't check just at the moment. He's an 18-year-old entry with an entry time of 157.68. Lane 1 going nicely. I mentioned it in the last heat that it's tough out there in the outside lanes. We got a really good race between 1, 2 and 3. Our leader amongst those 3 is Justin Christie, but Joe Way and Albert Branch are going very nicely as well, and they're going to push each other along. I think the best turn was in lane 3 amongst those 3. That's Albert Branch from Sevenoaks. Albert comes in with an entry time of 157.95, and he's pressing ahead of those in that race of 3. But in lane 5, Samuel Lowe, 157.68 entry, 3 seconds out of his entry time. In second place, Albert Branch from Sevenoaks, and in third place, Justin Christie. Well done, boys.
Heat 6, referee.
Okay, we've got a bit of special heat here, and I'll explain that in a moment, but I've got the names of the clubs here now. Liam Hamp in 1 from Thanet. Maxwell Mockenden, we're going to see lots of him. He is an outstanding swimmer from RTW Monson. Aaron Bissett, another outstanding swimmer. Those 2 boys are absolutely stellar. From the same club, they are in the same age group, and they make multiple finals all the way up to the British. In lane 4, Alex Bacon from Maidenhead, Dominic Morgan in 5 from Leatherhead, Hayden Annan, another outstanding swimmer from Monson in lane 6, David Allen from Sevenoaks in 7, and Danelius Tuma from Crawley in 8. Let's have a little look at the boys in 2, 3 and 6 for a moment. They're all from RTW Monson. They all made the British Summer Finals. And they all train together every single day. Aaron Bissett in lane 3 was a bronze medalist at the 200 fly in Sheffield in August. But Max was a finalist, as was Hayden. But in this race, coming through in lane 4, Dominic Morgan. What club did I say Dominic was from? I'm having to look at 2 pieces of paper at the same time here, from Leatherhead. He's looking strong, isn't he? The pressure on him, I think, is in lane 3 and lane 6. They're the 2 boys I mentioned before. In lane 3, Aaron Bissett. In 6, Hayden Annan.
but they are going to be pressed, I think, to win the race. Although in lane 3, pushing through hard now, is Aaron Bissett. I think he's just a little bit too late to be able to actually win the race. In lane 4, our winner of the 6th heat is Alex Bacon from Maidenhead. Second place in lane 6, Hayden Annan, and in third place, Aaron Bissett. Well done, boys.
Heat 7, referee.
We've got a vacant lane in lane 1. Harry Robinson in 2 from Crawley. Ben Hatfield in 3 from Winchester. Jake Acton in 4 from Brighton. Thanet have Oliver Pope in lane 5. In lane 6, Luke Burton from Wickham. Winchester City Penguins in lane 7 with Jeremy Williams, and I think he's got an early lead. Well done, Jeremy. Back across the rest of the field, and Robert Taylor from East Grinstead in lane 8. Robert's just 16. As is Ben Hatfield in lane 3. So they're swimming against the bigger boys. Lane 7 coming through nicely. Jeremy Williams from Winchester City Penguins, a 156.37. He's really taken out the second quarter of the race. He's got a body length on them all. How does his turn compare? I tell you what, he had a good turn there. He took extra time out of everybody. In lane 4, our fastest qualifier for this race is Jake Acton. He's coming through nicely, but he's got a big blanket there. Lane 6 looking good as well. That's Luke Burton. Luke Burton, I don't know whether I'm being unfair, but predominantly a fly swimmer, so he is going very, very well in 6. He'll be able to see while he's breathing. Lane 4, that is Jake Acton from Brighton. They're pretty much neck and neck, but Luke had a brilliant turn there, and I think he took a quarter of a body length out of the field. But in lane 7, Jeremy Williams, he's a 19 entry. He retains his lead, but he's definitely being pressed by Luke Burton in lane 6, 7 and 6. Going nicely in lane 2 is Harry Robinson. Tough out there, he's swimming all alone. Harry comes from Crawley, he's an 18, a 156 entry. In first place, in lane 7 was Jeremy Williams from Wickham. Second place, Harry Robinson, and in third place, Luke Burton.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please ask, if you are not parked in a marked bay, you must go and move your car immediately, please. Also, there are 3 cars that are blocking the plant room, and they do need to be moved straight away. The number plates are YE07ESU, so that's YE07ESU, V13LAR, V13LAR, and HN65ZPX. HN65ZPX. Please move these 3 cars straight away. Heat 8, referee.
Lots of familiar names in this race. Now we are at the sharp end of it. This is the final heat, 8 out of 8. Jack Booth Rudd from Maidenhead in lane 1. William Dean also from Maidenhead in lane 2. Christian Durtoff from Guildford in 3. Joe Bartley from Wickham in 4. Harry Wynne-Jones in 5 from the City of Milton Keynes. Nathan Potter in 6 from Maidenhead. That's 3 Maidenhead boys in this race. Daniel Cox from Wickham in lane 7, and he's a brilliant distance swimmer, Daniel Cox. He's amongst the very best. And Tom Hawkins in lane 8 from RTW Monson. RTW stands for Royal Tunbridge Wells, by the way. I didn't know that for years. I always wondered what it was. Harry Wynne-Jones in lane 5 was British finalist in this, as was Nathan Potter in lane 6 in their age groups. Lane 5 looking good. Harry Wynne-Jones, he comes from a very strong swimming family. He's 17. and he's got a 151.18 entry, but he's certainly not having it all his own way. Joe Bartley from Wickham, I think, has actually caught him up a long way in that particular length. He is an 18 with a 149.61 entry, and he's the quickest in the field according to entry times. Who's going to have the lead at the halfway point? It looks like lane 4, just, it's by a nose really. But Joe Bartley in 4 from Wickham, just ahead of Harry Wynne-Jones. In 3rd place, Christian Durtoft in lane 3. Worth concentrating briefly on Tom Hawkins in lane 8 from RTW Monson. Tom is just 15 years old. He's 2 years younger than everybody else in the field. So very many congratulations for Tom for making this heat. We've got a nice race going in lanes 1 and 2 between William Dean and Jack Booth Rudd, both Maidenhead boys, so I assume they see plenty of each other. But our winner in lane 4 is Joe Bartley from Wickham. 2nd place, Harry Wynne-Jones from the City of Milton Keynes. And out in lane 7, great swim by Daniel Cox of Wickham. Good swim, boys. Well done. That's the end of the 200 free.
The next event is event 102. It's the women's 50 metres breaststroke. There are 10 heats. Heat 1, referee.
Okay, just 2 lengths in this one, and this is, there's going to be 10 heats in this. We're going to have lots and lots of super fast British finalists here, and I think it's fair to say that the swimmers in the pool are the British finalists of the future. In lane 3, Rebecca Smith, I think she's got a tiny lead. Rebecca's from Littlehampton. Holly Hopwood in 2, in lane 4, I should say, from Guildford, and she's coming through nicely there. She had a very good turn at the halfway points. And Kira Wimble from Guildford in lane 5. It is a touch. Oh, it's a dead heat. Oh, Holly Hopwood and Rebecca Smith, dead heated for 1st place. Well done, girls. And in 3rd place in lane 5, Kira Wimble. Good swim, girls.
Heat 2, referee.
In lane 2, we got Daisy Johnson from Guildford, Zara Holligan, I should say, from Chalfont in 3. Harshika Shrivastava from Wickham in 4. Annalise Elford in 5 from Whitley. Molly Gorse in 6 from City of Milton Keynes. And Ellie Caldecott from Rushmore in 6. It's coming through in lane 3, I believe. That's Zara Holligan, a 15-year-old entry from Chalfont Otters, a 36.15 entry. Oh, she's taken the 2nd out of it. Really well done, Zara. 2nd place was Harshika from Wickham, and in 3rd place was Annalise Elford from Whitney. Good swim, girls.
Heat 3, referee.
Lane 1, Sophie Knocker from Leatherhead, Daisy McGregor from Guildford in 2, Emily Lowther from Southampton in 3, and Mia Stillwell from Seaclose Swimming Club in 4, Ella Westhead in 5 from Farnham. Who's got the turn? Oh, I tell you what, it's a blanket. Let's get through the rest of the names. Isabel Dill Russell from Dover in 6, Amelie Hunt in 7 from Eastbourne, and Tamsin Wheeler in 8 from Hart. Coming through in lane 4 is Mia Stiller from Seaclose, a 35.84 entry. Oh, she might take a 2nd out of it as well. She certainly did, just about 0.9 seconds in. Oh, I beg your pardon, Sophie Knocker, well done. Sophie in lane 1 is the winner from Leatherhead. In lane 2 is Mia Stillwell, and in 3, Ella Westhead. Well swum, girls.
Heat 4, referee.
I'm going to... The 50-metre races are just too fast to give it justice if we name all the swimmers. So I'm just going to refer you to the scoreboard and stick with the commentary if I can from now on. Our leader is Paige Austin Burrows in lane 4. Paige swims for Rushmore Royals. She had a good turn, but she's certainly got competition out there in Emily Wu, I should say, I beg your pardon, Erin Wu from Winchester City Penguins, and I think Erin might just be coming through, but it's neck and neck. I'm not going to put my house on it. In lane 7, Erin Wu, well done, Erin. Second place was Paige Austin Burrows, and in third place, Scarlett Davey. Well done, girls.
Heat 5, referee.
We got 160 viewers on YouTube, so we're enjoying that. And I think we've got a few more of that in the stands. Let's keep an eye out here in lane 7. Abby Smiley from RTW Monson, and they are having a great gala, aren't they, so far? Abby's easily the youngest, well, not easily, she's the youngest in the field, with Eleanor Blake from Abingdon as well in lane 6. Abby's a 13, Eleanor's a 14, but in lane 4, coming through to win this heat, is Bethan McMillan from Tilehurst. In lane 5 was Sophie Maguire, came second place, and in third place out in lane 2 was Bethany Abrams. Bethan's entry was 35.31, so she's taken more than a second out of her entry time. Well done, girls.
Heat 6, referee.
Right, we're on to heat 6. They're getting faster and faster. We got a good start there in lane 5. That's Isabella Hartwell from where's she from? She's from Eastleigh, a 34.90 entry. Holly Waymond in lane 2 is just 14. She's my club. That's Maxwell. Come on, Holly. Talia Curtis in lane 8 is also 14. And they're going well. In fact, Holly Waymond's going particularly well in lane 2. I don't think she's quite got it, or maybe she has. The youngest girl in the field wins the race. Holly Waymond in lane 2 comes first place. Second place, Rosie Richards. And in third place, Talia Curtis. That's the youngest 2 girls came first and third in that heat. Well done, girls. Good swim, everyone.
Heat 7, referee.
We've got two more 14-year-olds going here as well. Maisie Brown in 8 from Rushmore Royals. Hazeland Carter from Wickham in lane 6. And lane 8's actually in the lead here, I think. Lane 8 burner. Do we have our first lane 8 burner? That is Maisie Brown from Rushmore Royals, going very nicely in lane 2, as well as Eleanor Perks from Whitney. Just been speaking to her mother, and she is a fantastic swimmer. Oxford and North Bucks have got a number of breaststrokers, and she's in amongst the best. But in lane 8 comes through, outside burner. We love an outside burner. Maisie Brown in lane 8 wins it from Rushmore Royals. In second place was Eleanor Perks from Whitney, and in third place was Holly Geek. Holly swims for Tunbridge. Good swim, girls.
Heat 8, referee.
In the 50 breast, we had, I was just looking this up, we had 10 different girls made who are Southeast region, made British finals. I'd try and name them. I'm not going to be able to catch everyone, I'm afraid, because it's all a manual job. So my apologies if I don't actually name your swimmer when I should have. Hannah Capron from Brighton certainly dominating this race, I think. She's got a decent lead from lane 4. She's in lane 3. Imogen Miles from Sevenoaks in second place. In first place was Hannah Capron. I'll leave this to the referees. It looks like second place was Grace Pointer. And in third place, Charlie Cope. Good swim, girls.
Heat 9, referee.
Worth just giving a mention here. I'm looking at my notes. Imogen Stoddart's racing in lane 5 from Sevenoaks. She was a British finalist. Outstanding swimmer in 6, Ruby Stevenson from City of Milton Keynes. I think she's got a gold medal of British. Don't think it's this event, but she's going well. Lane 1 looking good, by the way. That's Eloise Wade from Newbury, but I think it's lane 6. No, lane 4 coming through here. Alicia Pollard from the University of Surrey in first place. Second place, Ruby Stevenson, I mentioned her a moment ago. And a really good swim there on the outside from Eloise Wade. Eloise came in with an entry of 33.83, so she's taken nearly half a second out of her time. Good swim, girls.
Okay, please welcome our swimmers for the final heat of this event. In lane 1, we have Darcy Revitt from Guildford City. Lane 2, Jess Gillett from Maidenhead. Lane 3, Alaya Richards from Sevenoaks. Lane 4, Sophie King from Woking. Lane 5, Emma Alat-File from Guildford. Lane 6, Lauren Crawford from Hastings Seagull. Lane 7, Ellen Bagley from Abingdon Vale. And lane 8, Connie Mortimer from Guildford City. This is heat 10, referee.
Okay, we've got some real class in this field. In lane 5, Emma Alat-File from Guildford is the British gold medalist at this, but Alia Richards in lane 3 from Sevenoaks was the silver medalist. So I'm sure these girls have seen plenty of each other over the years, but I tell you what, they are not dominating this race at all. Lane 7 going well, Ellen Bagley, God, she always fights hard. But lane 3 coming through, I think, Alia Richards. Well, am I right? Yeah, Alia Richards in lane 3. Well done, Alia. Alia comes from Sevenoaks, 32.28 entry. Oh, she matched her entry time. Second place, Darcy Revitt. And in third place, Darcy Revitt comes from Guildford. In third place, Emma Alat-File, also from Guildford. That concludes the 50-metre breast. And next up, we are going to have the 100-metre breast for boys.
The next event is event 103. It's the men's 100 metres breaststroke. There are 8 heats. Heat 1, referee.
Right, we're sticking with the breaststroke here. It's my favourite. In lane 3, Matthew Davies from Southampton, City of Southampton. Luke O'Mara from Hart in lane 4. In lane 5 is George Dominy from Havant. And Aidan Stanbrook in lane 6 from Winchester City Penguins. Aidan is the youngest in the field. We've got 2 races going on here, really. 5 and 4 are close to one another. 5 has just got an early lead there. George Dominy. George comes in with an entry time of 1:12.25. Matthew Davis and Aidan Stanbrook, they've got their own race going on as well. It's a shame they're not in lanes next to one another, because they'd be pushing each other along very nicely if they were. But maybe they can see one another. The race for the winner of this particular heat, it's being slightly dominated in the last quarter here, I would say, in lane 5. George Dominy, an entry of 1:12.25, takes 1.5 seconds out of it. Well done, George. Second place is Luke O'Mara. Luke's from Hart, coming through nicely, really gritting his teeth there. Tell you what, he isn't leaving anything in the pool. Matthew Davies in lane 3 from City of Southampton. And a good, smooth, long stroke there in lane 6. Aidan Stanbrook from Winchester City Penguins. Very good start. All 4 got improvements on entry time. Really good start to this event.
Heat 2, referee.
Gregor Hutchinson in lane 1 from Thanet. Christopher Davis from Winchester in 2. Ellis Knowles from Leatherhead in 3. Benjamin, forgive me if I'm getting the name wrong, please come and correct me, but Benjamin Devrint, I think, from Brighton. Dominic Adams in 5 from Wickham. Dan Hicks in 6 from Guildford. Now, I know that Hicks family, they make breaststrokers. Ralph Allen in 7 from Abingdon. Finley Jackson in 8 from Hazelmere. And it's Dan Hicks who's got the lead, in fact. My son used to race against his big brother back in the day. Dan Hicks looking strong, but I'll tell you what, he's being chased nicely in lane 7 as well. That's Ralph Allen from Abingdon. The youngest swimmer in the field is in lane 5. That's Dominic Adams from Wickham. Lane 4, Benjamin from Brighton is the fastest entry time with a 1:10.87. But in lane 6, Dan Hicks from Guildford at 1:11.39. He's going to take some time out of that, and I think he's going to take a lot of time out of it. It's been a good race in lane 7 as well, lane 3 coming through nicely, but Dan Hicks dominates the race. He breaks the 1:10 barrier. Well done, Dan. Second place, representing Aberdeen, is Ralph Allen. He had a good race from out there. And in 3rd place, Ellis Knowles from Leatherhead. Good swim, boys.
This is a message from the referee to all coaches and team managers. Please do not have hot drinks on poolside, please. It's only cold drinks on poolside. Thank you. Heat 3, referee. Disqualification, event 102, heat 4, lane 1, for a technical infraction. and event 102, heat 4, lane 2, for a technical infraction.
Okay, I'm not going to announce the swimmers. You'll see them on the scoreboard for this time. We've got a very strong start here in lane 6 from Jaden Lynch at 7.0, so 110.64. Now, we did break the 110 barrier in the last race, so it's going to have to be a better than entry time to get in the lead, as it were, for the entire gala. Going very nice in lane 7 against Liam Smith from Wickham. Also, the race is really on that side of the pool, the other side from me, if you like. In third place, I think, is Peter Conti from Hastings, but a race dominated from start to finish from Jaden Lynch at 7.0, 106.24. Good grief, he's taken 4 seconds out of his entry time. Lanes 4 and 5, Oren Jones and Peter Conte, second place. Well done, boys.
Heat 4, referee.
Thomas Strong in 1 from Wickham, Archie Nakano from Dorking, Nakano maybe. In lane 5, Toby Henbust from Tunbridge, Victor Dunev from Epsom, Nathaniel Reeve from Woking, Michael Gratchev from Amersham, Felix Brockdorf from Guildford in 7, Kian Day from Eastbourne in 8. Archie from Dorking, that might be a Japanese name, Gambate Kudasai, if you are from Japan. In lane 7, I think we got a lead there from Felix Brockdorf, is it? Am I correct? Yeah, Felix going very well for Guildford, but it's a tight one. In lane 6, Michael Gratchev from Amersham is keeping him honest. Lane 4 coming through nicely as well. He's the fastest entry in the field. Victor Dunev from Epsom, he's a 109.78. Now, let's not forget that last heat was rapid. Jaden went 106.24, and is that going to be beaten in this? Lane 7 coming through, he's dominated the last half of the race, is Felix Brockdorf, 108.18. Second place in lane 8 was Kian Day, and in third place in lane 3, sorry I didn't mention you earlier, Toby Henbust from Tunbridge. Good swim, boys.
Heat 5, referee.
Luke Buckham in 1 from Rushmore, Noah Wheeler in 2 from Chalfont, Sam Martin Young from Seven Oaks in 3, Ethan Bird from City of Oxford in 4. Let's see where the turn is. Looks like we got a lane 8 burner here in the early stages. Ruben Alexander from the University of Surrey. In lane 5, you've got Fraser White from Winchester City Penguins, Joseph Dollimore from Portsmouth in 6, and Joshua Davidson from Atlantis in 7. Joshua's just 14. He's younger than the field. We got a lead out on the outside lane, I think. Just by a nose, though. Ruben Alexander in first place at the halfway point. Sam Martin Young in second on this side of the pool in lane 3. And Noah Wheeler in 2 from Chalfont. Going nicely in lane 4 now is Ethan Bird. But it's tight. It's still lane 8, I think. Ruben Alexander, University of Surrey, a 109.77 entry. Really good turn there from Ethan Bird again, but he's got a tight race. I think he's actually coming through perhaps to win the heat. I might be wrong. It looks like 4 versus 8. Lane 5's going well. In lane 4, Ethan Bird. Good swim, Ethan. Second, Ruben Alexander in lane 8, third place. Fraser White from Winchester City Penguins. Good swim, boys.
Heat 6, referee.
We need to still think about Jaden Lynch back in Heat 3 when a 106.24. No one's got within 2 seconds of him. It was a seriously dominant race. In lane 2 we're on lane 6 now, Heat 6 now. We've got Callum Wimble from Guildford who's got an early lead again. Lane 8's going well, Demi Ali from Sevenoaks. Lane 1 is Daniel Wilson from Guildford, Callum Farrow from Black Lion in 3. Black Lion always the best named club in any swimming, I would say. Nathan Walford in 4, Leon Taylor in 5, William Miles in 6 and Henry Benton in 7. In lane 2 is Callum Wimble. We've got 2 Callums in fact. Callum Wimble's actually dominating this race from lane 2. He comes in with an entry of 107.60. There was a strong turn there in lane 6. That is William Miles from Basingstoke, but also in lane 5. Leon Taylor from Shiverers, but it is lane 2 just. He's tying up a little bit. Is it going to be lane 2? It certainly is. Callum Wimble from Guildford in 1st place, 2nd place Leon Taylor, in 3rd place William Miles. 105.96 is the fastest swim so far.
Heat 7, referee.
Jake Acton in 1 from Brighton, Daniel Cox from the University of Surrey in 2, Matt Burrows of Sevenoaks in 3. Samuel Cruttenden from Abingdon in 4, Max Friedman from Guildford in 5. At the turn, I think it's lane 3, that's Matt Burrows from Sevenoaks with a 106.20 entry. Daniel Oakley in 6 from Winchester City Penguins. 7 is Samuel Law Chin Young from Hart, Aaron Bissett in 8. Lane 3's got about a half body length lead, just over 30 seconds to the halfway point. Sam Cruttenden, an excellent 100-metre swimmer in lane 4, going nicely. All these Abingdon breaststrokers. Worth concentrating on Aaron Bissett out in lane 8. He's only 14. He's three years younger than anyone else in the field, a British finalist in this event. But this race is now being dominated in lane 3. That's Matt Burrows of Sevenoaks, 106.20. The fastest time to date, I can't find my piece of paper, I'll tell you in a moment, but in lane 3, Matt Burrows, well done. 2nd place, Jake Acton from out in lane 1, in Daniel Cox in 3rd. Good swim, boys.
The swimmers for our final heat are, in lane 1, Jacob Hudson from Winchester City Penguins, lane 2, Joe Buxton from Reading, lane 3, Caden Silla from Abingdon Vale, lane 4, Khan Trukchetin from Abingdon Vale, lane 5, William Dean, Maidenhead, lane 6, Logan Bryan, Abingdon Vale, lane 7, Benjamin Dinsdale, Winchester City Penguins, and in lane 8, Max Morgan from Reeds School. Heat 8, referee.
Okay, we've got lots happening in this race. Caden Silla in lane 3 from Abingdon. He was a medalist of British. And Can Tugatin, also from Abingdon, was a British finalist in this race. So they're 2 Abingdon swimmers. who are very strong. And who do we have in the lead? We've got lane 6 in the lead, actually. That's Logan Bryan from Abingdon. That's a Breaststroke family through and through. He's just got a little bit of distance from Benjamin Tinsdale of Winchester. In fact, they are neck and neck, 6 and 7. Who's got the better turn? Oh, I think they're about level on that. If anything, I think it was Benjamin Tinsdale, but it was tight. Lane 1 going nicely as well. That's Jacob Hudson. Jacob comes from Winchester City Penguins. Lane 4 beginning to press through, and that is Can Tugatin. But I'll tell you what, that was a brilliant third length in lane 7 from Benjamin Dinsdale. Logan Bryan gritting his teeth and holding on in second place there. But remember, this is all about times. This is not a final. 103.05 is the fastest swim of the day. Benjamin Dinsdale from Wickham. Second place was Logan Bryan. Well done, Logan. And Jacob Hudson in third place out in lane 1. Well done, Jacob. That's the end of the 100 metres breaststroke. Well done, boys.
The next event is event 104. It's the women's 100 metres backstroke. There are 8 heats. Heat 1, referee.
Okay, we've got 8 heats of this in lane 3 in the first heat. From Bracknell and Wokingham is Catherine McBride, 108 entry. Molly Staples in lane 4 from Beausejour. Beausejour's in Guernsey, I believe, for those who wonder. And in lane 5, Isabel Simmons from Mid-Sussex Marlins. They all have entry times within one another of 0.05 seconds. So this one is going to be tight. Isabel Simmons from Mid-Sussex Marlins got the lead at the halfway point, but the strongest turn there was in lane 4 from Molly Staples of Beausejour. As I said, well, I told you, there's 0.05 seconds between the 3 of them on entry, and that looks pretty much how it's going to end. At the 3/4 point, my money says there's about 0.05 seconds between them now. Strongest turn again was lane 4. Really good skills from Molly Staples, 18 years old, from Beausejour. Can she hold on? I'm not sure she can, because lane 3 coming through is Catherine McBride. Catherine McBride's going to win it in lane 1. Catherine McBride, Molly Staples in second place, and third place Isabel Simmons. Well done, girls.
Heat 2, referee.
Lane 2, Catherine Kearney from Hart. Nia Kearney from Wickham in 3. Sophie Duckworth in 4 from Rushmore Royals. Lane 5 is Emily Smith. She's got the early lead from Guildford. Good turn there. Really good underwater work in lane 4. Have a look how much distance she got there. Sophie Duckworth. In lane 6, Amelia Thapper from Hart. In 7 is Olivia Howarth from Epsom. In lane 4, pretty strong lead, a 31.58 split there. 107.55 was the lead time in the last heat, but the strongest turn there, in fact she took half a body length out of the field, was in lane 2. That's Catherine Kearney from Hart, a 108.08. I think our first place and second place girls are on the outside lanes. But coming through nicely is lane 4 now, our strongest, or our fastest entry time, Sophie Duckworth from Rushmore Royals. I think she's got it, it's only by a nose, it might be her, it might be lane 7. In lane 4, Sophie Duckworth in first place, Olivia Howarth in second, third place, Catherine Kearney. Good swim, girls.
Heat 3, referee.
Lane 1, Caris Capley from Rushmore Royals. 2 is Darcy Smith from Portsmouth North. She is 12 years old. She's 2 years younger than anyone else in the field, and I think that Darcy, our baby in the whole event, has probably got a lead there after the first leg. Catherine Tarmy of Winchester in 3, Madison Langley of Abingdon 4, Caitlin Ireland of Maidenhead in 5. Abigail Hogburn of Thanet in 6, Alice White in 7 from Winchester. Our leader at the halfway point, I think was lane 4, Madison Langley. Out in lane 8, going nicely, is Edith Hamilton from Bracknell and Wokingham as well. Lane 1 going nicely, Caris Capri from Rushmore Royals. And lane 8, we've got 2 outside burners here. This might be first and second from the outside lanes. But lane 2 coming through very nicely is our 12-year-old from Portsmouth North Sea. Darcy Smith, has she got it? I think she might. It's lane 1 or lane 2. Lane 1, Caris Capri from Rushmore Royals. Brilliant swim. 106.59. Darcy Smith, also 1/100 of a second behind her in second place. And in third place, Abigail Hogburn from Thanet. Good swim, girls.
Heat 4, referee.
Lane 1, Caitlin Semple from Sevenoaks, Isabel Steer from Mid-Sussex Marlins in 2, Amelia Boyce from Portsmouth in 3, Erin Stewart from Whitney in 4. Lane 2 going nicely at the first, for the first turn. I think it's Isabel Steer from Mid-Sussex Marlins to 107.27 entry. In lane 5 is Evie Johns from University of Surrey. 6, Alicia Bethel from Wickham. Amber Likely from Portsmouth in 7, and I think she's pressed ahead into the lead. In lane 8, just 13 years old, Maddie Evans from RTW Monson. And it is Amber Likely in the lead. Amber Likely just ahead of Isabel Steer, so 7 and 2 at the moment, and they are very close with one another. Lane 3, Amelia Boyce of Portsmouth coming through nicely, and definitely speeding up in lane 4 is Erin Stewart. I think she's the fastest in the pool at the moment. But the lead is in lane 7, Amber Likely. It's a tough race for her because her competition is on the other side of the pool. She's all alone there. She's going to have to grit her teeth to win this race, and she does. Brilliant swim there from Amber Likely, 105.76. Second place was Amelia Boyce. In third place, Erin Stewart. That's our fastest swim so far by Amber. Well done, girls.
Okay, I have a notice of disqualification. Event 103, heat 6, lane 5 for a technical infraction.
Lane 1, Molly Lehman from Windsor 2 is Isabella Cara from Sevenoaks, Tia Lomas from Wickham in 3, Zoe Faulkner from Rushmore Royals in 4. You can pick your leader there. I think it was lane 5. I very much could be wrong. That's Emma Hagberg from Guildford, Sophie Knocker from Leatherhead in 6, Charlotte Morris in 7 from Bracknell, Daisy McGregor in 8 from Guildford. Lane 2 going very well here. Isabella Acaro, one of twins, I believe. We'll see her sister later on. I believe I'm right in saying that. In lane 2, I'm found getting the nod from behind me. Yeah, I know there's twins there. In lane 5, going nicely, is Emma Hagberg. She was the lead earlier on from Guildford, a 106.48 entry. But the race is beginning to be dominated. In lane 2, Isabella Acaro, a 106.63 entry. Is she going to win it though? Lane 6 coming through well, but I was right. Ooh, it's nice when I'm right. Isabella Acaro in first place. Well done, Isabella. Sophie Knocker from Leatherhead in second. Good swim, Sophie. Probably didn't make enough fuss of you. Emma Hagberg in third place from Guildford. Good swim, girls.
Heat 6, referee.
Okay, Isabella's got the quickest time today at 105.46. Let's keep an eye on that. Lane 5 going through nicely. Annabelle Compton from Wickham District. She made the final at British. She's just 14 years old, the youngest in the field, with Grace Llewellyn in lane 8 as well from City Milton Keynes, also 14. And Amelia Oliver in lane 2 from Royal Tunbridge Wells, RTW Monson. So those three girls, all three made British finals, all three in the same age group. Quite dominant. Annabelle Compton in the lead at the halfway point. Cara Muller in 1 from Guildford City. Lilia Gilbert from Wickham in 3. Katie Ford, we're cheering on Katie Ford in the box because her mum is the announcer, keeping herself calm though. Carlin Arundel from Maidstone in lane 6 and Creswyn Smith in 7 from Amersham. But this race has been dominated in lane 5. Annabelle Compton, remember her name. This is a super talented superstar who wins this race by a chunk. She's 2 seconds ahead of Amelia Oliver in second place, and third place out in lane 1, Cara Muller, 103.37. That sets the standard, everyone.
Heat 7, referee.
Got to keep an eye on that time there from Annabelle Compton of 103.37. None of the girls in this heat have ever done that time, or certainly aren't entered on that time. So they're going to have to go fast to get ahead of her. In lane 1, Charlotte Hayden from Wickham District, Jessica Hum in 2 from Bracknell, from Tigers Jersey, Megan Hansford in 3, Astrid Facius from Mid-Sussex Marlins in 4, and she was a British finalist in this event. I think lane 5's got the lead in the halfway point. I might be wrong. In fact, it's lane 3. But lane 5 is Isabel Boost from Rushmore Royals. Megan Hansford from Jersey had the lead in the halfway point. Evie Stockdale from Hastings in 6, also a British finalist. Catherine Williams in 7, just 13 years old, from Didcot Barramundi in 7. In lane 8, 1 and 3, 1 and 4, they're both 13 as well. Lane 8 is Lottie Roberts from Guildford. Lane 1 coming through nicely, but I think it's going to be lane 3. 3 from 1 from 7 is my money. In first place, Megan Hansford from Jersey. In lane 2, Charlotte Hayden from Wickham, and in second place, I should say, and third place was Jessica Hum. Winning time was 103.74.
Our swimmers for the last heat of this event are in lane 1, Mia Collier from Black Lion. In lane 2, Jessica Gable from Royal Tunbridge Wells. In lane 3, Tegan Matthews from Guildford City. Lane 4, Caitlin Ebbedge from Tonbridge. Lane 5, Charlotte Prince Rayner from Winchester City Penguins. Lane 6, Amber Ranson from Atlantis. Lane 7, Lucy Block from Wickham District. And in lane 8, Holly Widows from East Grinstead. This is heat 8, referee.
We have a classy field, but that time from Annabelle Compton still hasn't been broken, 103.37. Lane 1 had a very good start here. That's Mia Collier from Black Lion. I think she's in the lead. We got some class in this field. Tegan Matthews in 3 from Guildford as a gold medalist at the British level. Jessica Gable in lane 2 is a silver medalist at the British level, and Amber Ransom in 6 is a finalist. 4 coming through nicely, though, also a British finalist. Caitlin Ebbidge from Tunbridge, a 101.63 entry. Her entry time is actually second faster than anybody else in the field, so it'll be a surprise if Caitlin is beaten, but they're going to have a good go at it. Lane 5 looking good now. Charlotte Prince Rayner from Winchester, but it's dominant in lane 4. Caitlin Ebbidge. The seedings worked in this race. Lane 4 in first place is Caitlin Ebbidge from Tunbridge. 101.63 was her entry. She's taken another second out of it. This is fast, by the way. Charlotte Prince Rayner takes more than a second out of her entry time, comes second place, and Tegan Matthews from Guildford in third. Good swim, girls. That was quick.
Just before the next heat, I have an announcement to make. Just to let you know that the Swim England Coaches Conference is taking place on the 13th and the 14th of November, and bookings can be made on the website. That's the Swim England Coaches Conference. The next event is event 105. It's the men's 100 metres butterfly. There are 8 heats. Heat 1, referee.
Oh, it's the butterfly which us amateurs are terrified of course. I just don't know how people do it. Lane 1, we've got Aidan Stanbrook from Winchester City Penguins. I beg your pardon, that's lane 2. Aidan's in lane 2. Patrick Walsh in lane 3 from Rushmore Royals. Leo Mitchell in 4 from Littlehampton. In lane 5 is Dan Hicks from Guildford, and in lane 6 is Thomas Navarro Barber from Portsmouth North Sea. Good race, actually. I mean, the early heats sometimes have swimmers who really dominate, but in lane 3 is Patrick Walsh. He's 19 years old from Rushmore Royals at 108.85. I think it's reasonable to say that everybody's going to be trying to hit that 1 minute barrier. It's one of those benchmarks in swimming. It'll be a big swim if they pull it off in this heat. 101.85. He's going to have to take 2 seconds out of his entry time. It's close. Oh, he missed it by 100. Oh dear, Patrick Walsh, first place. I think he's going to have a little bit of heartbreak. Good swim, Patrick. Dan Hicks in second place, and in third place, Leo Mitchell. Good swim, boys. You'll do it next time.
Heat 2, referee.
In lane 1 from Wickham District, George Pearson, Thomas Golden from Dover in 2, Christian Gale from Guildford in 3. Matthew Clark from Eastbourne in 4. Who's got the lead here? It looks like lane 5's got a bit of an early lead. Luca Plater from East Grinstead. He definitely has. He had a brilliant turn there in lane 5, Luca Plater. I think he took half a body length out of the field. In lane 6, Joe Swart from Tigers Jersey. Oliver Colombo from Atlantis in 7, and Oren Jones in lane 8. At the halfway point, it was Luca Plater, and he's got a good lead and he is extending it. Luca, he's never broken the 1 minute barrier. Given my emotion in the last heat, let's cheer him on if he does. A 1:00.93 entry. Only him and Matthew in lane 4 have ever broken 1:01. Are we going to break the 1 minute barrier? A swimmer loves to do it. Oh, it's going to be tight. Boom! 59.10 in lane 5. Good swim by Luca. Second place, Joe Swart from Tigers Jersey. And Oliver Colombo in third place from Atlantis, I think. Good swim, boys.
Heat 3, referee.
Okay, none of these swimmers have broken a minute before either. Really good, strong start in lane 1 from Lackland Middleton and City of Oxford. He might have a lead, I'm not sure. Lane 7 going well. Felix Brockdorf, he's swum every race so far from Guildford in lane 7. He's going to be tired, but he's going strong. Archie McKenna in 2 from Brighton. Solomon Kendrick from Shivers in 3, another swimming family. Jaden Paul from Eastbourne in 4. Our leader is Jaden Paul from Eastbourne, but he's only ahead by nose. In 5, Jamie Pickering from Guildford, Freddie Sadler from Winchester in 6, Felix Brockdorf in 7, and Joseph Reedhead from Guildford in lane 8. Lane 4 is per the seedings, beginning to come through there. Very strong turn. He took about half a body length out of the field as well. Lane 7 going well. It's 4 from 7, I think. Jaden Paul from Eastbourne's going to win this race. In second place in lane 7 is Felix Brockdorf. Well done, Felix. You're working hard today. And Freddie Sadler in lane 6 in third. That's our fastest time so far, 58.15. Good swim, boys.
Heat 4, referee.
Okay, we're taking us halfway through this. It's 7 from Seven Oaks. It's Cheng Ziduan in lane 1. Alexander Davis from East Grinstead in 2, and Alexander's got a good, strong start there. I think he might be in the lead. Oh no, my apologies. Lane 5's got a strong lead there. That's Christopher Finch from the University of Surrey. In lane 3, Joseph Watkins from Abingdon. Good swimmer, excellent breaststroke, Joseph. Hayden Annan in lane 4. He is a British finalist, I believe, 5, with a very strong lead. Christopher Finch from the University of Surrey. He's going to win this race by the best part of 10 metres. In lane 6, Andrew Hooper from Farnham. Blaine Underwood in 7, also from the University of Surrey. And Jake Chesworth from Maxwell in lane 8. Jake Chesworth keeps on breaking my son's Maxwell records. But it is in lane 5, Christopher Finch, 56.67. That's 3 seconds better than entry time. Second place, brilliant swim out there by Jake Chesworth, youngest in the field. And in third place was Alexander Davis. Good swim, boys.
Heat 5, referee.
Lane 1, Archie Thorburn from Winchester. 2, Misha Naumovich from Cheshire. James Taylor in 3 from University of Surrey. Our leader, pretty much neck and neck, was Tom Hawkins from Monson. And in lane 6, Ross Murray from Mid Sussex Marlins. Josh Kelly from University of Surrey in 5. Our leader at the halfway point, sorry, I'm a bit scattergun here, is Ross Murray, 17 years old from Mid Sussex Marlins, 59.32 as an entry time. Lane 7, Jaden Lynch, who swam such a good breaststroke from Seven Oaks. And in lane 8, Ollie Mowbray from Amersham, he's just 15, as is Tom Hawkins, who's in lane 4. Now, has he shot his bolt in lane 6? It was such a strong start from Ross Murray. He's holding on, but he's been caught up. I think he's done enough. In lane 6 is Ross Murray. Second place is going to be tight. I think it's Jaden. Jaden Lynch in second place. Well done. And Josh Kelly in third. Good swim, boys.
Heat 6, referee.
Right, we've got our Maxwell boy, 2 Maxwell boys in 3 heats. Charlie Thompson in lane 1, Luke Poulton in 2 from Wickham District. Max Shaw from City of Milton Keynes in 3. Lane 4 with an early lead is Joe Carter from Portsmouth North Sea. Lane 5 is vacant. 6 is Liam Hamp from Thanet. Roman Parham from Brighton in 7. Charlie Clark from Guildford in lane 8. This one is tight. Looks to me like it's Max Shaw from City of Milton Keynes, but it's tight. He's 2/100ths of a second ahead of Roman Parham from Brighton. So this is anybody's, and just a couple of tenths behind them is Luke Poulton. Luke's tall and long and strong and coming through in lane 2. This is a dead heat at the 3/4 point between 2 and 4 and 7. I think lane 7 had the best turn. That's Roman Parham from Brighton. Oh, he did have the best turn, but he's being pulled in now. I think he's just about got enough. In lane 7, Roman Parham in first place. Joint, by the way, with Luke Poulton. Well done, boys. Luke in 2, Roman in 7, joint first place. Third place for Charlie Toms. Good swim, boys.
Heat 7, referee.
Looking at entry times, there is a chance that Christopher Finch in Heat 4 is going to be really amongst the fastest swimmers in this event. No one's got within a second of him yet. We're in Heat 7 now. I'm not going to go through the names, but Benjamin Tritton from the University of Surrey, out in lane 1, had the strongest start there. He was the leader at the halfway point, the quarter point. Sam Pyfinch, another Maxwell swimmer, I think has got the lead at the halfway point. He does indeed. Going nicely in lane 5, as well as Jack Allman from Wickham District. He's looking strong. Worth mentioning Aaron Bissett, just 14 years old, in lane 4 and coming through and having a really good race with Jack Allman in 5. Aaron Bissett was a British finalist in this as well. Goodness me, he must have been tired out at the end of that week. But this is Sam Pyfinch coming through. He's been strong. It's 3-1, 3-1. Pyfinch and Tritton. Sam Pyfinch wins it. Well done, Sam. Second place was Ben Tritton, and in third place, out over in lane 7, Alex, I'm sorry I didn't give you a bit more airtime, because you did deserve it. In third place, Alex Bacon from Maidenhead.
Our swimmers in the final heat of this event are, in lane 1, Luke Burton from Wickham District, lane 2, David Sanchez from Tilehurst, lane 3, Albert Branch from Sevenoaks, lane 4, Thomas Dixon from Portsmouth North Sea, lane 5, Dominic Morgan from Leatherhead, lane 6, Ellis Morgan from Amersham, lane 7, Alfie Evans from Reading, and lane 8, Joseph Bradshaw from Abingdon Vale. Heat 8, referee.
Right, they are fast and furious. We've had our names named already. Looks like lane 2's got a good start there. That's David Sanchez from Tilehurst, a 56.63 entry. We still have not gone faster than Christopher Finch, 56.76. This is a good race. I think lane 4's just about got it, 2 and 4 at the moment. David Sanchez from Tilehurst, and Thomas Dixon from Portsmouth North Sea. Thomas in, it was Thomas, in fact lane 5 coming through well as well. Dominic Morgan from Leatherhead, but this is anyone's. The turn in 5 was good, and he's just about pressing through, I think. That's Dominic Morgan. But I tell you what, there's 5 of them can win this race. It looks like lane 2 to me, David Sanchez. He's held on throughout the race. 3 coming through is Albert Branch, and lane 5 as well. It looks like lane 5's got it for me. Lane 5's Dominic Morgan. Lane 5, 56.23 in first place. Second place was Albert Branch from Sevenoaks, and David Sanchez from Tilehurst in third. That concludes the boys' 100-metre fly. Well done, boys.
The next event is event 106. It's the women's 200 metres butterfly. There are 7 heats. Heat 1, referee.
Right. Can you imagine anything more exhausting than this race? Wendy and I have got shivers now going down our spines, haven't we? In lane 2 is Navia Sandil from Amersham. In lane 3, Rebecca Smith from Littlehampton. In lane 4 is Annabelle Cooper from Wickham District. She's the baby of the field, just 13 years old. Fastest entry with a 2:37.10. And Neve Pearce from Guildford in lane 5. We're approaching the halfway point. We got some benchmarks. Everyone's looking for a PB, of course. I guess 2:30 would be the time which they'd like to get, but that'd be a stretch for all of them. That'd be a 7 or 8 second PB or improvement on entry if they did pull it off. We're halfway through with a 1:11.36 in the lead at the halfway point. If anybody's interested in the cricket, England are doing very well. It looks like they're going to win and make it to the semi-final of the World Cup. Professional to a fault on watching the swimming and the cricket at the same time. In lane 3, dominating the race really now, is Rebecca Smith from Littlehampton. She's 16 years old, a 2:37.40 entry. Second place is tight. I think it's lane 5, Neve Pierce from Guildford, just about ahead of lane 2, Navia Shandil from Amersham. Everyone going well though. Annabelle Cooper looking good in 4. Oh, those lungs are going to be burning. But they're looking strong, aren't they? These hours of swimming, which they do to allow them to finish races like this and still look strong. In lane 3, Rebecca Smith. What's her time? 2:33.64. In second place was Neve Pierce. Third place was Navia, and Annabelle in 4th place. Good swim, girls.
Heat 2, referee.
Lane 1 is Neve Brook from Leatherhead, Ruby Hurd in lane 2 from Guildford, Maisie Dixon in 3 from Wickham, Orla Evans in 4 from Crawley. Got it a slight lead there from Ruby Hurd of Guildford, I think, at the the quarterway point. Scarlett Shepherd in lane 5 from Guildford. Lilia Fornacier from Sevenoaks in lane 6. Cara Cleelau from Maxwell in 7. And Isabel Powell from Basingstoke in 8. Yeah, Scarlett Shepherd from Guildford, a 32.52 first quarter of the race. Scarlett's got a 2:34.86 entry, so I'm sure she and her supporters will be looking at the 2:30 barrier. It's a big one. Oh, I tell you what, parents, you must enjoy this swimming as long as it lasts. My son's just finishing up and we are broken-hearted by it. You're on a brilliant ride as you watch your swimmers go through the competition. It's the hope that kills you. It's the hope that kills you, I can tell you that. In lane 5, Scarlett Shepherd, she's retained her lead, a 1:10.43. She's 4/10 of a second ahead of Ruby Hurd in lane 2, and Maisie Dixon in 3's got 3rd place. The girls in 2 and 5 seem to be dominating pretty much now as we begin to approach the end of... Oh no, we've got a bit further to go. Sorry, I'm getting 50 metres ahead of myself again. There's all those hours on poolside where we watch them train and train and train and put the kilometres in, which allow them to do the races like this. In lane 5, Scarlett Shepherd, she's led this race from start to finish, but I tell you what, she's got some competition, and she's got it from her teammate, Ruby Hurd, in lane 2. Ruby is 17, and Scarlett is just 12 in lane 5. I should have mentioned that before. Scarlett's 2 years younger than anybody else in the field, but despite that, she's led the race from the start, but will she be leading the race at the end? I think she will, but it's going to be tight. We mustn't forget lane 3 here as well, Maisie Dixon from Wickham District going well. But in lane 5, the baby of the field, Charlotte Shepherd from Guildford at 2:30.41. Second place was Ruby Hurd and Maisie Dixon in third. Good swim, girls. That's the fastest time so far in this event.
I have a notice of disqualification. Event 105, Heat 2, Lane 7 for a technical infraction. Heat 3, referee.
Lane 1 is Amelia Tovey from Sevenoaks, Kayla Moorman from Black Lion in 2, Sienna Gooddale from Winchester in 3. She's had a good start there, Sienna in 3. I think she's got the lead. It's close though with Paige Austin Burrows and Rushmore Royals in 7. Alice Young in lane 4 from Guildford isn't here. That lane's vacant. Olivia Duddy from Shiverers in 5. Phoebe Paul in 6 from Abingdon. I mentioned Paige in 7. And in lane 8, Lucy Quill from Amersham. Our leader is lane 3, Sienna Gooddale from Winchester. My apologies, I'm about to say Wickham, but Winchester. She's a 2:32.35 entry. Remember that 2-minute 30 barrier. As we get later, they're going to be trying to get underneath 2:10, can you believe? But the 2:30 barrier, I remember when my son did that, it was a big celebration. We always thought it was impossible, honestly. We're getting to the halfway point. And in lane 3, it is Sienna Gooddale from Winchester. Getting a good lead there. We've got a strong swim out here in lane 1 as well. Amelia Tovey from Sevenoaks. In fact, the race is very much on this side of the pool. The 3 of them are going well. Let's not forget Ruby Hurd from Guildford. She's a 2:35.64 entry. Lane 5's got a difficult race there because she's swimming by herself, truth be told. She's got an empty lane and she's well ahead of the swimmer on the other side of her. In lane 5, that is Olivia Duddy from Shiverers. I think Shiverers is in Brighton, I'll be corrected if I'm wrong. And she's actually pulling through nicely, and she's got a lonely swim out there and doing very, very well. Lane 3's still got the lead, but it's very tight now, just 3/100ths of a second in it, between Sienna Gooddale and Amelia in lane 2. Lane 3 is Olivia in lane 5. But I tell you what, the turn in lane 1 and 3 were brilliant. Those girls turned they took a chunk out of the field. Amelia from Sevenoaks, her coach is going to like her skills. Sienna from Winchester, her coach is going to like her skills as well. And they've got to grit their teeth and take it to the end because it's either one of them. It looks like lane 1 to me, but I could be wrong. It's pretty much neck and neck. We've got Amelia in 1 from Sevenoaks, Sienna from Winchester in lane 3. Oh, it's on the touch! Amelia Tovey in first place from lane 1. Second place, Sienna Gooddale. Third place, Lydia Duddy. And we've broken the 2-minute 38 barrier. That's worth a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Good swim, girls.
Heat 4, referee.
Ella Thornburg in 1 from Littlehampton. Sorry, I'll quickly get through the names. Ilana, I'm not going to do the clubs on this one because I'm a bit late. Ilana Nightingale Ellis in 2, Leisha Bethel in 3, Rosie Pope in 4, Daisy Dewsbury in 5. In lane 6 is Charlotte Harris. I think we got a lead in lane 2. I might be wrong. Yeah, no, it was lane 1 actually. Ella Thornburg from Littlehampton. She's 16, 2:30.27 entry. So, you know, some of the girls in this heat have broken that barrier though. Holly Atten in lane 7 is from Basingstoke, and Charlotte Marshall in lane 8 from Sevenoaks. Our fastest time today is a 2:29.32. Okay, they're approaching the halfway point. In lane 5 is Daisy Dewsbury from Bracknell and Wokingham. She's a 2:28.84 entry. Lane 2, I thought she was leading earlier on, but going through very nicely in 2. Is Ilana Nightingale-Ellis from RTW Monson. Lane 6 going nicely is Charlotte Harris, just 14 years old from Portsmouth. Rosie Pope in lane 4 is just 13 years old, so swimming amongst the big girls. But the race is pretty consistently at the moment with lane 5 from 2, I would say. That's Daisy Dewsbury from Bracknell. Lane 2, Ilana. There's a good race for 3rd place. I think it's with lane 6 at the moment. Charlotte Harris from Portsmouth Norsley, but there's a bit of a blank in there with Alicia of Wickham doing well and Ella of Littlehampton. At the 3/4 point is Daisy Dewsbury. 2nd place in 2 is Lana. In 3rd place in 3 is Alicia Bethel. She's done a long, lonely race with no one around her in lane 5. That's a tough, tough race. It's underestimated how difficult it is if you don't have somebody on your shoulder to race with you. So big credit for Daisy Dewsbury of Bracknell and Wokingham at 2:28.84. She's being chased hard by Ilana Nightingale-Ellis from RTW Monson. Just a little bit too late though, in lane 5. 2:24.07. 4.5 seconds out of entry time. In 2nd place was Ilana, and in 3rd place Alicia. That was rapid. Good swim, girls.
Heat 5, referee.
Okay, we're at the halfway point. I'm going to be a bit too late to mention swimmers' names here, but we've got Marissa Broove. Oh, she's just the most beautiful swimmer. Always loved watching Marissa. She used to bang it up and down with my son at Maxwell, but she's a Wickham swimmer now. We've got 4. She's in the lead at the halfway point. We've got 3 Wickham Guildford girls. Oh, they must be sick of the sight of one another. They train all week together and then they're in all the next door lanes with one another in 6, 7 and 8. It's Marissa Booth who's in the lead though in lane 4. Marissa's the fastest entry with a 2:24.76. Now she's going to have to beat her entry time to get in the lead of this event because Daisy Dewsbury from Bracknell was very quick at 2:24.07. In lane 5 is, I beg your pardon, in lane 3 is Poppy Baybutt from the city of Milton Keynes, and she's keeping a close eye on Marissa. Pretty much nothing in it. Pretty much nothing in it. So 2:24.07 is the time we're looking at in lane 7 amongst the 3 Guildford girls. Is our leader amongst those 3, Scarlett Sim from Guildford, but this has been led from start to finish by Marissa Booth. Goodness me, Marissa, good swim. Marissa takes 4 seconds out of entry. 2nd place was Poppy Baybutt, and in 3rd place was Scarlett Sim from Guildford. Good swim, girls.
Heat 6, referee.
We're on to heat 6 now in lane 1. We've got a lot of Maxwell swimmers in this. Rowan's sister from Maxwell in lane... In lane 2 is Abby Outram from Maidstone. Lane 3, Charlotte Hayden from Wickham District. Despoina Giannakaki from City of Milton Keynes in 4. I think she's got an early lead, but it's tiny. And in fact, she hasn't. It's Amelia Ayling out in lane 8 for Portsmouth Morsey with a tiny lead. Emily Toms in 5 from Crawley. Neve Haswander from Epsom in 6, and Isabel Dutoft in 7 from Guildford. Now we've got a number of British finalists in this group. We've got Despoina Giannakaki from City of Milton Keynes made the British final, as did Emily Toms from Crawley and Neve Haswander from, where's Neve swim for? Neve swims for Epsom. Let's have a look if any of these were medalists. I don't think any of them were actually medalists, but let's not make too fine a point about it. It's brilliant to make that final. We're at the halfway point, and it's Despoina Giannakaki in the lead. She's got a good lead from Amelia Ayling in lane 8. Tough swim out there, but those girls on the outside are going well, as is Isabel Dutoft. We are 3/8 of the way through, I think so. 2:20.90 is the time that Marissa Booth went in the last heat. It's definitely Despoina in a good lead now. She's looking strong, and she's not tying up at all. How's her turn look? She's got a couple of kicks there, a good turn. But a good turn by lane 5 and 7 and 8 as well there. Who's in 5? Emily Toms from Crawley. She's looking good, as is Isabel Dutoft, and Amelia Ayling in particular looking strong out in that outside lane. Amelia from Portsmouth Morsey, an 18-year-old with a 2:24.75. They're going to have to go faster than their entry times by a big distance, because Marissa Booth went fast. 2:20.90 is what we're looking at for Despoina, if she wants to go into the lead at this stage. Just behind. First place was Despoina Giannakaki, second place was Abby Outram, and in third was Emily Toms. Good swim, girls.
The swimmers for our final heat of this event are, in lane 1, Annabelle Compton. Lane 2, Abby Holland. Lane 3, Alice Weston. Lane 4, Lucy Fox. Lane 5, Maisie Thornton. Lane 6, Oriana Wheeler. Lane 7, Ivy Haggerty. And lane 8, Lauren Barras. Heat 7, referee.
So this is a stellar race. This, in many contexts, is the race of the day. In actual fact, we got British finalists in lane 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7. Annabelle Compton, Abby Holland, Alice Weston, Lucy Fox, Oriana Wheeler, and Ivy Haggerty. And amongst those girls, we got a medalist there with Lucy Fox. She got a strong lead, actually, hasn't she, Lucy, at the quarterway point, about a second and a half. Lucy missed out on the gold medal. She was a silver medalist for the British by tenths of a second. But she is an awesome swimmer, as are a number of them in this race. She is an entry of... Lucy Fox's entry is a 2:12.20. That's 6 seconds faster than the field. In lane 5, Maisie Thornton. Maisie swims for, I'm not sure which club she swims for. We don't have the sheet at the moment with the club names on it, so I do apologise. The abbreviation is SUNS. S-U-N-S. In lane 3 is Alice Weston, another excellent swimmer and another swimming family. She was a British finalist as well. She's looking strong. I had breakfast with her and her mother this morning. Can she rope in? In lane 5, Maisie Thornton. It's going to be tight. I think our medalists, or not our medalists, our first, second and third for this race is pretty much defined. We need to make a fuss of Lucy Fox though. She is ahead and going further ahead. This is a dominant race. 2:12.20 is our entry time. Can she get ahead of that? Remember her names. This girl is a champion. Lucy Fox in lane 4, dominated the race. 2:12.20 on entry. Boom! 2:11.55. Well done, Lucy. In second place is Maisie Thornton. Excellent swim by Maisie. 2:16.78. Maisie takes 2 seconds out of her entry time, and Alice goes 2:18.68. Good swim, Alice. I'll tell you what, it's the company you have at breakfast which makes you go that fast. 2 seconds out of her entry time. Good swim, girls.
The next event is event 107. It's the men's 50 metres backstroke, and there are 10 heats. Just while they're getting the backstroke ledges there, to let you know that after this event, there will actually be a short break of about 20 minutes. So that's after the 10 heats of this event. Great.
Right, we're going to have the break after this. So some splash and dash after the 200 fly. In lane 1, I'm afraid I'm onto the old sheet, so I can't do the clubs. Vlad, I'm going to just say Vlad in lane 3. Lane 4 is Jacob Warren in 5, James Parry in 6. It's going to be lane 4, Warren. I don't have any name beyond Vlad, so I'm very sorry, don't mean to be rude, but in first place was Jacob Palmer, second place James Parry, Warren Tate in third. Good swim, boys.
Heat 2, referee.
Okay, I'm not going to announce the names for the 50s from now, because it just leaves me no time for anything else. But before I get to this race, a plea for help from poolside, please. I've had a bit of feedback. I have no information about anything to do with the para swimmers, and I'd love to make a fuss of the para swimmers. So if any of the para swimmers or their parents could come and tell me some stuff, I'll make sure that everybody hears about it. Come and see me, please. I'd love to say, make a big fuss. First place was Noah Palmer. Well done, Noah. Sorry I couldn't make a fuss of you. Theo Pavlou in second place, and in third place, Joseph Adams. Good swim, boys.
Heat 3, referee.
Worth keeping an eye on lane 7 here. Monty Smith, just 13 years old, 2 years younger than anybody else in the field. Our leader, I think, in the early stages is 5 from 8. That's Jamie Mitchell of Winchester in 5 and Andrew Brett of Guildford in 8. Who's got the best turn? Good strong turn there in lane 5. That's Jamie Mitchell from Winchester 3, looking good as well. Luca Plater from East Grinstead. Could be anyone's. I think we've got an outside burner in lane 8. Lane 8 wins the race. Andrew Brett from Guildford. Good job, Andrew, out there. Well done. Leo Mitchell in second place. Another outside burner, Matthew Metcalf in third from lane 1. Good swim, boys.
Heat 4, referee.
In lane 5, I think we got the strongest start there. That is Thomas Petchak from Maidenhead. Always close though, isn't he? I think Thomas had the best turn as well. He's got ahead. Lane 2 looking good as Jaden Paul from Eastbourne. 28.78 is our fastest entry. I think this is lane 2 coming through. It could be anyone's, but I think it's lane 2. 28.48, that's the fastest so far. Second place is Freddie Jones and Thomas Petchak in third. Well done, Jaden. Well done, boys.
Heat 5, referee.
Well, I am cheering on Rowan Shearer in lane 1. It's hard enough being in an outside lane, let alone you've got 2 spare lanes either side of you. So come on, Rowan, see how you can do here. In lane 4, I think, is our leader. That is Daniel Fernandez from Littlehampton. But I'll tell you what, Rowan's going pretty well in lane 1. Jaden Lynch from Seven Oaks going nicely as well. Could be lane 1 here. 4 versus 1, it's a dead heat lane. Well done, Rowan. Rowan in lane 1 comes first place. 27.59. I'll tell you what, that's the second fastest than anyone's gone so far. Second place was Ethan Richards-Knight. Well done, Ethan. And Finn, oh, who was third there? I can't tell you who third is from the scoreboard, I'm afraid, but good swim, boys.
Heat 6, referee.
Right, we are on to heat 6. That was really fast, that last heat, 27.59. None of these boys have broken the 28 barrier, so they're going to have to go really fast to take the lead for the event as a whole. Really good turn there in lane 4, by the way. Who's that? That's it. Achilles Bello Sapdrew going nicely in 5, but it's lane 4, I think. Lane 4 is Achilles Barrow from Elbridge, 28.42 entry. 27.73, good swim. Second place was Sam Drew, third place Alex Moore. Good swim, boys.
Heat 7, referee.
I think we had a strong start in 3, didn't we? Lane 3 and lane 7, that's Jack Corbin from Wickham. He's predominantly a fly swimmer, so he's doing really well here. And Edgar Steplier from Abingdon Vale. Oh, it's tight, great underwater work there in 7 from Edgar. I think he might have a lead in lane 7. These 50s are the hardest score, but Edgar's going to come through. I think it's going to be Edford from Jack. It is Edgar Steplier in first, 27.82. Second place was Luke Poulton, in fact. Luke, my apologies. I think I misidentified you, but well done. Luke, Johnny Ireland in third. Good swim, boys.
Heat 8, referee.
They are getting fast, but I'll tell you what, we've had 2 heats without Rowan Shearer's time being broken yet. It's still 27.59, which we're looking at. Lane 4's looking strong, isn't he? Callum Wimble from Guildford. He's at 27.75. He had a good turn there as well. Lane 1's coming through nicely. Joseph Davis from University of Surrey. I think it's going to be lane 4 though. Callum Wimble. 26.80. He's broken the 27 mark, as did Joseph Davis. Well done, boys.
Heat 9, referee.
We got absent lane in lane 2 again, so this time I'm cheering on Tom Henley from Bicester at 27.73. I'll tell you what, he's going well as well. I think he's got the lead. Fabian Branicki from the University of Surrey is going nicely, as is lane 7. You could throw a blanket over this. Dennis in lane 7. I think it's lane 1's got this. No, my apologies. Lane 7's going to take it through. In lane 7 at 26.75. That's the fastest time to date, by the way. Dennis takes the lead with 1 heat to go. Second place is Fabian Branicki. And in third place, Jack Sadbury from Shivers. Good swim, boys.
The swimmers for our final heat of this event are, in lane 1, Aaron Bissett from Royal Tunbridge Wells, Monson. Lane 2, Logan Winter from Portsmouth, Northsea. Lane 3, Ellis Morgan from Amersham. Lane 4, James Merrick from City of Southampton. Lane 5, Christian Dutoft from Guildford City. Lane 6, Ben Hatfield from Winchester City Penguins. Lane 7, Jake Acton from Brighton. And Lane 8, Dominic Morgan from Leatherhead. Heat 10, referee.
Okay, Aaron Bissett in lane 1 was a bronze medalist in the British Summers recently. Christian Dutoft in 5 and Ben Hatfield in 6 were both finalists as well in their various age groups. And it is Christian Dutoft who's got a lead here. 26.26 is his entry. Fastest time to date is 26.75. He's going to win it, I think. I think he's pretty much ahead. He's got to beat 26.75. That's the fastest time to date. And he most certainly does by a second as well. James Merrick from City of Southampton in first place, Christian Dutoft from Guildford in second, and Ellis Morgan from Amersham in third. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put the mic down. I'll see you in 20 minutes, and I'll leave you to the officials and announcers. Thank you very much.
So there will be now a short break of 20 minutes, and we will resume at 11:28 with the 200 metres IM for the girls. We do actually have an announcement of a disqualification. It was in event 107, heat 8, lane 7, for a technical infraction.
Could all of the swimmers for event 108 report for marshalling, please? So would you please report to the sports hall? And could we have officials taking their position for the second half of this session, please?
Just in the break, while we're waiting for the next part to start, I have got some results here. Strangely enough, they haven't given me the first events of the day, but I do have the results for event 106, which was the women's 200 metres butterfly. So let's get those results for you. So in the 16 and under, the third place was Despoina Giannakaki from City of Milton Keynes. In second place, Alice Weston from Wickham District. And in first place, Lucy Fox from Wickham District. And in all age groups, in third place was Alice Weston from Wickham District, Maisie Thornton from University of Surrey, and Lucy Fox from Wickham District. I also have the results for the for event 107, which is the men's 50 metres backstroke. For the 16 and under, in third place was Tom Henley from Bicester Bluefins. In second place, Ben Hatfield from Winchester City Penguins. And in first place, from Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson, Dennis Mielkowski. And in the open age group, in third place, Morgan Ellis from Amersham. In second place, Christian Dutoft from Guildford City. And in first place, from City of Southampton, James Merrick. I am now trying to get the results of the other events that were in the first part of that session. And we'll come back to you as soon as I have them. Okay, so we're going to be ready to start again shortly. The officials are in place. We're just waiting for the first heat of swimmers. Event 108. It's the women's 200 metres individual medley. There are 8 heats. This is heat 1, referee.
Can you hear me, Tom? Right, we're off. In lane 3, we've got Callie-Ann Warrington from Tunbridge. In 4, 4's vacant. Abby Outram from Maidstone in 5, and Amanda Reedhead from Maxwell in lane 6. Now, Amanda is a para swimmer. She's an S8 class. I'm going to read out what S8 means. Swimmers with full use of their arms and trunk with good hip and some leg movement. Swimmers with limb loss of 2 limbs. Swimmers without the use of 1 arm. Swimmers use regular starts, strokes and turns. So that's what an S8 is, and that's Amanda Reedhead. She's from Maxwell. And absolutely loved and admired by all. She's been a volunteer at Maxwell for many, many years. And now we cheer her on to medals in the para class. So good going, Amanda. We're all behind you. In lane 3, Callie-Ann Warrington from Tunbridge. She's a 2:42.82. They're into the second leg of the medley now. So I think everyone probably knows it. We go from fly to breaststroke. I beg your pardon. Where am I? We go from fly to back to breaststroke. My son was British finalist in the medley. You wouldn't know that was true, would you? And then free in the end. So we're approaching the 3/4 stage for our leader in lane 5 from Maidstone. That's Abby Outram, a 2:31.11 entry. That's the 3/4 point. And she's looking strong, isn't she? I think 2:31.11 probably won't stick. It looks to me like she's going to be ahead of that, but I don't have a clock running, so on the scoreboard, although the split times are coming up, so we should be okay. Abby Outram, just about to finish. Come on, Abby, let's go. 2:31.11. I got no idea where she is, but it looks fast. 2:34.24. Good swim from Abby, I should say. Callie-Ann's coming towards the end. Well done, Callie. Callie-Ann, let's give her a big cheer. Well done, Callie-Ann from Tunbridge. She was at 2:42.82 entry, just off of her entry time. Well done, though. And Amanda Reedhead pushing on strong. Go on, Amanda.
Let's go, Ruby.
Never, ever without a smile on her face. One more length to go. Amanda's entry time is a 3:22.09. Probably just with about 10 metres or a dozen metres to go until the end. Well done, Amanda. Well done, all three of you. Amanda goes 3:22.46. Oh, Amanda, you missed your entry time by 0.3 of a second. I'm sure you'll get it next time.
Heat 2, referee.
Let's go, Ruby.
So in lane 1, Ella Wardle from Worthing, Scarlett Davey from White Oak in lane 2, Lucy Quill in 3 from Amersham, Lilia Gilbert from Wickham in 4, Astrid Facius from Mid Sussex Marlins in 5, Mia Gooddale from Winchester in 6, and she's got a strong lead. Always hard to tell the reality of it because I don't know Mia's strengths well, but certainly a very good fly swimmer. Third place is Rebecca, in lane 7 is Rebecca Smith from Littlehampton and Ruby Stewart from Guildford City in lane 8. Now, they always used to say in the medley that it's the breaststrokers event. And the reason they said that was because the distance between the fastest breaststroke and the slowest breaststroker is longer than any other stroke. But many people now think it's the backstrokers event. And you can see a really dominant swim by Astrid from Mid Sussex Marlins. She's probably caught up 5 metres there in the backstroke, but the breaststroke will often define the IM. Going nicely in lane 4 is Lily Gilbert of Wickham District. In lane 1 had a very good backstroke length, and she looks like a good breaststroker as well. Ella Wardle from Worthing, a 2:30 entry. They're all going to be trying to break the 2:30 barrier. We got a strong breaststroker in lane 1. She's going very, very nicely. Lane 6 going well is Mia Gooddale from Winchester. Youngest girl in the pool is Astrid in lane 5. She's just 13, so she's the baby of the group. But we've got a close race here for a medley in the early heats. Lane 2 mustn't be forgotten. Scarlett Davey from White Oak. She's also at 2:30. But good breaststroke swims, in particular from lane 1 and lane 6. Ella Wardle and Mia Gooddale, they're from Worthing and from Winchester City Penguins. This is where the fitness shows. This is where it burns. This is a hard, hard event. And I think she's just about holding on in one, maybe not in fact. I think Mia Gooddale's might have just taken the lead, who's got a better turn. Pretty much the same turn, and we got a race for third as well between lane 2 coming through. Scarlett Davey of White Oak. She is going well, Scarlett. She's the fastest swimmer in the pool. But lane 6 had the lead. She's held on to the lead. Mia Gooddale, 2:26.38. Well done. Second place in lane 1 was Ella Wardle, and Scarlett Davey in lane 2 was third. Well done, girls. Good swim.
Heat 3, referee.
Lane 1's Abby Smiley from Monson, RTW Monson. Neve Hasselwander from Epsom 2. Kirsten Abrams from Mid-Sussex Marlins in 3. I think our only lead is lane 2, that's Neve Hasselwander, I'm not sure. Jessica Miller in 4 from Whitney. Cara Muller from Guildford in 5. Creswyn Smith from Amersham in 6. Catherine McBride from Bracknell in 7. Oh, lane 8 looking strong. Jemima Green from Beausejour Barracuda. She's got a second on the field here. In fact, she's got a second and a half on the field. Going nicely in lane 8. Beausejour, she's had to do the longest journey to get here, Jemima Green. We had a very strong turn from lane 3. That was Kirsten Abrams, but lane 5 coming through, and lane 7. Cara Muller in 5 from Guildford, and from Bracknell we got Catherine McBride. But this is a strong swim from Jemima out in lane 8. They often get there, the fly swimmers often get caught up in the backstroke, but she's been caught up a little bit, but not that much. She's still got a second on the field. How's her breaststroke? In fact, she's got 2 seconds on the field. Brilliant turn, though, in lane 4. Jessica Miller from Whitney. I beg your pardon, Cara Muller from Guildford. She's taken a body length out of the field there. But Jessica's still going nicely in lane 8. This is a remarkable swim from lane 8. Lane 5 going well, lane 7 going well. That's Cara Muller from Guildford. Lane 7 is Catherine McBride from Bracknell. The time to beat 2:26.38 is our fastest time to date. Got a good swim in lane 3 now from Kirsten Abrams from Mid-Sussex Marlins, just 14 years old. A 2:29.50 entry. But she's led from the start, but will she lead to the finish? In lane 1, it's still Jemima. Second place is very tight between... Oh, in fact, yeah, it is still Jemima. Second place was tight with lane 2. Oh, I'm getting all mixed up here. Jemima in lane 8. From Abby in lane 1 now. We got 2 outside burners, and lane 7 is the only girl getting in amongst them. Catherine McBride. We can't have a lane 1 and a lane 8 first and second. That would break the odds remarkably. I've got lane 5 coming through now. Oh, I must have mentioned every swimmer. In lane 5, is it lane 5? I think it's lane 5. Cara Muller, second place Jemima Green. Third place was Catherine McBride. Goodness me, what a swim there. Well done, Cara. Great swim from Jemima as well. Third place, Catherine McBride. Good swim, girls.
Heat 4, referee.
Okay, the fastest is still Mia Gooddale, the 2:26.38. Nobody in the last heat outdid her. Grace Ashley in 1 from Guildford. 2 is Eleanor Perks from Whitney. 3 is Nancy Knight from Guildford. 4 is Jess Gillett from Maidenhead. 5, Charlie Cope from Guildford. We got lane 4 in the lead after the fly, but it's tight, I think. Yeah, it's 4 from 3 from 5, so that's Jess Gillett in the lead from Nancy Knight from Charlie Cope. Charlie Cope represents Guildford. Molly Lone in lane 6 from Dover Lifeguard. Molly Lehman from Windsor in 7. And Lilia Fornacier from Sevenoaks in lane 8, just 14 years old, as is Ashley Grace in lane 1. Lane 7 coming through now. Strong breaststroker Molly Lehman from Windsor. She's actually dominated the second quarter of this race. Lane 3 going nice is Nancy Knight, just 15 from Guildford. She's a 2:28, but very strong backstroke from Molly Lehman. Now, can she hold on with a breaststroke? I can tell you that Eleanor Perks in lane 2 is an absolutely fantastic breaststroker, and she's going to be competing here with the other girls. I can't account for the other girls because I know there's always going to be breaststrokers at Guildford lane, but Eleanor's coming through nicely, but still looking good. In lane 5 is Charlie Cope from Guildford. And I think she's actually taken some time out of the field there, taking some distance out of the field there with the turn. Eleanor Perks going nicely. She's pulled ahead into second place, and in 6 is Molly Lone from Dover Lifeguard, who's a 17-year-old entry, but actually lane 5 was brilliant there. Charlie Cope from Guildford, she has dominated in the breaststroke there, and she's taken time out of the field. Second is Eleanor Perks to the final, or the three-quarter point, to Molly Lone in third. But this is all about one person, this race. Charlie Cope from Guildford, 15 years old, a 2:27.62 entry, and my money says she is going to take a chunk of time out of that. Eleanor Perks is likely to come second, and coming through nicely in lane 3 is Nancy Knight from Guildford. It's going to be a Guildford first and a Guildford third, I think, in lane 5, 2:24.45. That's 3 seconds out of her entry time. Charlie Cope. Eleanor Perks in second place, Nancy Knight in third. Good swim, girls.
Heat 5, referee.
Two 24.45 is the time to beat. In lane 1, Emily Smith from Tunbridge, Grace Pattle in 2 from Wickham, Caris Capri from Rushmore in 3, Alice Young in 4 from Guildford. I think at the turn that is Paige Austin Burrows with a small lead. She's from Rushmore Royals in lane 6. Alice Young from Guildford in 4. Hannah Day from Portsmouth in 5. Danny Xiong from City Milton Keynes in 7. Mia Culver from Black Lion in lane 8. Lane 6 is Paige Austin Burrows with a small lead. Hannah Day's just in second, but she had a big glide into the wall, so she's certainly swimming fast. Third place was Alice Young at the turn, and Alice actually looks like a very strong backstroker and has actually got herself probably a half a body length lead. Mia Collier out in lane 8 also looks like a very, Culver I should say, Mia Culver. I beg your pardon, she's certainly a strong backstroker, and she's taken the lead out there from the outside. Lane 4 looking good. Alice Young from Guildford. This one's tight. I think it's lane 8 in the lead. Black Lion, 1:07.62 at the halfway point. Alice Young in second place and Hannah Day in third. Oh, you could put a blanket over 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 8. Lane 2 is Grace from Wickham, Caris from Rushmore in 3, Alice from Guildford in 4. In lane 8's Mia from Black Lion. Who's the breaststroker? I'll tell you what, if you want to put a quid on who's the breaststroker, you can often go to Guildford. And it is Alice Young from Guildford, just 14 years old, who's just about got ahead of the group though, but not by much. Grace Pattle is giving her a lot of competition there. So who can hold on till the end? In lane 4, Alice Young, little bit of a glide again. Great turn there from Grace Pattle. She's found a bit of distance. In lane 5, Hannah Day from Portsmouth looking strong, and Danny Song from Miss City Milton Keynes. Oh, she is pushing through. I think she might have taken on third place. So Alice Young with 1 length to go. I think she's probably got enough, but there's a good turn in 2 by Grace Pattle. Looks to me like it's going to be Alice Young, 2:26.66 entry. She needs to go better than 2:24.45 to take the lead, and she does. Well done. Second place was Grace Pattle. Third place, Danny Song. Well done, girls.
Heat 6, referee.
Lane 1, Holly Hopwood from Guildford. Also lane 2's from Guildford, that's Darcy Revitt. Alice White from Winchester in 3. Hazel Ann Carter from Wickham in 4. She was a British finalist in this event. At the quarterway point, it's Darcy Revitt in the lead from Guildford in lane 2. Megan Hansford in 5 from Tigers Jersey. Alice Weston in 6 from Wickham. Also from Wickham in 7 is Lucy Block. And Catherine Williams from Didcot and Barramundi in lane 8. Looks to me like it's lane 2 from lane 6. That's Darcy Revitt of Guildford and Alice Weston of Wickham. Lane 1 going nicely, a really good turn from Holly Hopwood in lane 1. Just 14 years old. Her and Hazel Ann are the youngest in the field. Holly Hopwood's definitely taken some time out of the field in lane 1, but lane 8 going very well as well again. Catherine Williams from Didcot and Barramundi, she's only 30. She's the youngest in the field and she's got the lead at the moment, swimming amongst the big girls. She's got a nice race there in lane 7 as well from Lucy Block. They're pretty much neck and neck and they're going to bring each other. In fact, I think Lucy's just about taken the lead. She has, but just by 1/100th of a second over Catherine, and in 3rd place is lane 2 at the moment, Darcy Revitt. Darcy's been in amongst it throughout. There's another blanket to be put over this entire field. I tell you what, any one of them can win it. We got good breaststroke going in lane 2 there. That is great. No, that's Darcy Revitt. She looks like a strong breaststroker. Those two girls in 7 and 8 are going hammer and tongs against each other. Better turn in lane 8 from Catherine Williams of Didcot. But this is pretty dominant in lane 2. Darcy Revitt from Guildford. She's a 17-year-old, 2:25.98 entry, and she's probably taken half a body length out of the field. Really good swim in lane 4 from Hazel Ann Carter as well. I think she was about 6th or 7th after the backstroke, and she's up to 2nd now. But there's a brilliant race amongst the girls at 6, 7 and 8. It's being dominated now, though, by Darcy Revitt from Guildford in lane 2, a 2:25.98 entry. Now, for her to take the lead, she's got to go faster than 2:23.06. That was Alice Young. 2:23.06, remember that time. Hazel Ann Carter gritting her teeth and trying to hold on for a second. Alice Weston coming through nicely. 2:21.26. That's a 4-second improvement on entry. 2nd place was Hazel Ann Carter. 3rd place, Alice Weston. Darcy Revitt wins it. Good swim, girls.
Heat 7, referee.
(2:21.26), remember. Maisie Brown in 1 from Rushmore Royals. Oriana Wheeler from Beausejour in 2. 3, Louise Bresler from Guildford. Marissa Booth in 4 from Wickham. Had a good swim, Marissa. She's a very good fly swimmer. Annabelle Quinn in 5 from City of Milton Keynes. In 6 is Holly Wayman from Maxwell. Holly's just 14, as is Maisie Brown in lane 1. Being pretty much dominated by Marissa in lane 4. Excellent, excellent fly swimmer. Lily Brabin. Oh, she's a great breaststroke swimmer, and we'll see that in a moment or two. Come on, Lily, let's hold on for the backstroke so you can get involved when it comes to the breaststroke. She's in lane 7 for Wickham District. And very strong. I'll tell you what, these outside lanes are going well. Hannah Murphy from Maidstone, just 15 in lane 8. Good turn by Hannah, by the way, as well. Pretty dominant still from Marissa Booth in lane 4. Going nicely in lane 5 as well is Annabelle Quinn from City of Milton Keynes. Marissa comes in with the fastest entry time of 2:22.24. She's going to have to go faster than that to take the lead, though. Remember, our time is 2:21.26. Now, I don't know all the swimmers, of course, but one thing I can tell you is Lily Brabin in 7 is a high-quality breaststroker. And let's see, she's got a bit of distance to catch up, but she will do some catching, I'm sure. They've got a great race there in 1, 2 and 3 between Maisie, Oriana and Louise, Rushmore Royals, Beausejour and Guildford, and we'll see who wins that race. But Marissa's looked strong throughout, hasn't she? Marissa's led in the fly, she held on in the backstroke, and I think she's gone further ahead with the breast. Marissa Booth from Wickham District. Very much, pretty much neck and neck for 2nd place with Holly Wayman. Holly Wayman's an outstanding swimmer and multiple British finalist in the 14 age group, and she's had a brilliant turn there. She took about probably quarter of a body length out of Annabelle Quinn on that last turn, but Annabelle seems like the fastest swimmer in the pool, and she's caught her back up. But Marissa Who's got the turn for second place here, by the way? It looks like Holly had another good turn there. Marissa Booth coming through. She's dominated from start to finish in this race. 2:21.26 is the time we're looking for. Can she do it? She certainly can by a second. Second place was Holly Waymond, and in third place, Annabelle Quinn. Good swim, girls.
The swimmers for the final heat are in lane 1, Rhiannon Bowen from the University of Surrey. Lane 2, Emma Alat-File from Guildford City. Lane 3, Caitlin Ebbage from Tonbridge. Lane 4, Holly Widows from East Grinstead. Lane 5, Sophie King from Woking. Lane 6, Ruby Stevenson from City of Milton Keynes. Lane 7, Tegan Matthews from Guildford City. And lane 8, Amelia Oliver from Royal Tunbridge Wells, Monson. Heat 8, referee.
Lane 1, Rhiannon Bowen from University of Surrey. 2 is Emma Alat-File. She's had a great gala so far from Guildford. Caitlin Ebbage from Tunbridge in 3. Holly Widows in 4 from East Grinstead. And I think Holly in 4's got the lead at the early stages. Sophie King in 5 from Woking. In 6 is Ruby Stevenson from City of Milton Keynes. Going to come back to Ruby in a moment. Tegan Matthews in 7 from Guildford, and Amelia Oliver from RTW Monson in 8. Lane 4 looks strong. That is Holly Widows. Holly is from East Grinstead, 16 years old, at 2:17.02 entry. Now, I mentioned Ruby Stevenson. She's age 15 in lane 6. She won a gold for her age groups at the British Summers. In lane 5, Sophie King from Woking. She won a silver at British Summers for her age group. And Amelia Oliver in lane 8 from RTW Monson won a bronze for her age group at Summers. Really good, strong backstroke swim from Caitlin Ebbage of Tunbridge. 2:19.35 is her entry time. Let's see how her breaststroke goes. I can tell you that Ruby Stevenson's an outstanding breaststroker, but she's got some distance to catch up, though. This is being pretty much dominated in lane 3. Caitlin Ebbage for Tunbridge at 2:19.35. If she can match her entry time, she'll be quicker than Marissa in the last heat. The fastest time today is 2:20.21. What a brilliant leg we've got here, by the way. She has not just hold on, but she's pushing ahead now. Caitlin Ebbage of Tunbridge in lane 7 going nicely. Tegan Matthews, just 14 from Guildford. And in lane 5, I think in third. It might be 4, it might be 5. They're pretty much neck and neck. Holly Widows and Sophie King. But no one is going to catch up Caitlin Ebbage. This has been an absolutely brilliant, dominant race. It's all about second place, I think, and that looks pretty good for Tegan Matthews from Guildford, just 14 years old. But I think we've got to stand up and give Caitlin Ebbage from lane 3 a big cheer. This is an awesome swim from Tunbridge, a 2:19.35 entry. Boom! There she goes. Fantastic. Second place for Tegan Matthews, and in third place, Holly Widows. Good swim, girls.
Just a quick reminder, parents and possibly people on poolside, if you have parked your car, do make sure that you have a ticket in the car. There are parking people out there issuing tickets to those people that do not have tickets in the car or that aren't valid. So you might just want to double check that. Hopefully that doesn't involve the officials. The next event is event 110. It's the men's 400 metres individual medley. There are 6 heats. Heat 1, referee.
Right, we're on the home stretch. Now we're at the 400 IM, my favourite race of all, it has to be said. All right, heat 1. We've only got 3 swimmers in this heat. In lane 3 is Dominic Adams from Wickham District. In lane 4, Alfie Bone from the City of Oxford. In lane 5, Makar Yakno from Portsmouth North Sea. This is going to be pretty much neck and neck between Alfie and Makar at the turn. Makar just about has a lead. Now, Makar comes from the Ukraine and is being hosted by Portsmouth North Sea as they've had to leave the country. He's only 12 years old, so well done, Portsmouth North Sea, for such a sort of, what's the word? Good. I'll just stick with good. I'm looking for a better word than that. But for such an excellent gesture, and good luck to Makar. Just 12 years old, so he's in amongst the big boys here. But this is a great race, isn't it, by the way? We're at the quarterway stage, and you've got to be fit and strong to win this. This is pretty much a dead heat. I think that's, okay, yeah, it's Dominic now. Dominic's ahead. He was in third at the after 50 metres, but they amount to being neck and neck, honestly. Is anyone pulling ahead? Maybe Dominic is a little bit, but there's nothing in it really. In fact, I think Makar might be, apologies, come and correct me if I'm saying his name wrong. It may be Makar. I tried to get the names right, but some of the names are difficult for me. So I'm going to go with Makar. I think his name's Makar, but do correct me if I'm wrong. He's obviously a strong backstroker. He's taken a body length out of Dominic and probably 2 body lengths out of Alfie, but Alfie had a really good turn there. He probably caught half a body length up on Dominic in lane 3. Makar certainly looks like a good backstroker. He's 2 years younger than either of the other boys in the field. But I mentioned it before, it's often about the breaststroke. Now, I used to love this event. I said it earlier on, but for the parents here, enjoy the ride because it doesn't last forever. You get left with a hole in your life after your swimming finishes with your children. A lot of excitement, a lot of fun, but a lot of heartbreak. It's the hope that kills you. These boys are going nicely now. Who's the breaststroker in the field? Makar looks good, doesn't he? He looks pretty long and strong there. Dominic going nicely as well. Alfie's got the longest stroke of all, so he's retaining a little bit of energy, and he could go very nicely as we get to the back end of the breaststroke and then into the free. Now they're going to be, these boys are going to be aiming to break the 5-minute barrier. None of them have ever, well, they may have done it, but their entry times say that they haven't. They're 5:07 entries, all 3 of them. We're neck and neck here, aren't we, as we move into the second part of the breaststroke. Alfie just a little bit behind, but I did mention how long his stroke was. That's going to help him out as we get to the back end, and he had a good turn there as well. But coming through nicely now from Wickham District is Dominic Adams. They're all a 5:07 entry, so they're very much going to have the 5-minute mark as something to look for. Oh, they are strong, aren't they? It just sends shivers down my spine, even thinking of doing an event like this. But they're in the final stretch now, when they've done that last turn at the start end. They're at the 3/4 way point of the race. And this is when their muscles are burning. They will be burning out there. He was very strong, wasn't he, Dominic, in the breaststroke? I think he probably took, it was over 100 metres, but he probably took 3 or 4 metres out of Makar. I think Makar's coming through, actually. This could be a close finish. Makar certainly is coming through. With 50 metres to go, let's see how the turns were. I think there was a little bit of a win on the turn from Dominic, but he's going to have to hold on tight because Makar's looking strong here. Oh, and there's been a bit of a second wind from Dominic. I think he's noticed that he's being chased. But, oh, who do you put your money on? Everyone cheer on your favourite. This is going to be fast. Oh, it's going to be close. Dominic had a lead at the last turn, but Makar's the fastest in the pool at the moment. In lane 5, Makar wins it. 4:58.69. Dominic 4:59.15. Many congratulations to both. Both of them break that magic 5-minute barrier. And let's cheer on Alfie. He's coming through in lane 4. Let's go, Alfie, all the way to the end. And well done, Alfie. Well done, boys. This is a tough old event. Really good swim, everyone. Good swim, boys.
Heat 2, referee.
Well, in lane 2, we got George Barfield from Winchester. In 3, we've got Alan Paramanzo from Tilehurst. Aidan McCarthy in 3 from Bracknell. Just met Aidan's parents. I think it was Aidan's parents, so I'm cheering on Aidan. In lane 4, Anton Supov from Maidenhead. In 5 from Monson is Alex Tollett, and 6 is Leo Nichols from Bracknell. Who's the strong fly swimmer? It looks like it's Anton from Maidenhead. All the boys are 15 years old in swimming terms, apart from George in lane 2, who's a 14-year-old. But this is pretty tight. It could be anyone's, I think. Lane 5 is Anton Supov. He's a 5:04.78. So I mentioned it in the last heat that they were going to have that benchmark of the 5-minute benchmark, and that stands for all these swimmers. On entry time, none of them have broken that time before. Really strong first part of the backstroke leg there by Aidan in lane 4. He's a 5:03.15 entry, but actually Anton is going a bit quicker in this particular length. So both those boys are beginning to get ahead. A good swim in lane 3 there from Alan Paramanzo of Tilehurst. He's got a nice rate. Oh, the best turn of them all there was from lane 7. That's Leo Nichols from Bracknell. We've got 2 Bracknell boys in this race, just noticed that, 4 and 7. They're the same age, so they'll know each other very well, and they'll know which strokes are stronger. It's not just about what strokes are your strongest, though. It's about timing a race. That's one thing I certainly learned watching my son doing this, is that you need 10 or 20 400 IMs before you know how to time a race, where to press. If you press your biggest stroke too hard, you can tire yourself out for one of your weaker strokes, and it can ruin your race. So getting that timing is absolutely critical, especially over 400. It is a tough, onerous swim. In lane 5, Anton Supov from Maidenhead. He's led this throughout, but it is tight with Aidan McCarthy. Remember the 5-minute barrier. 4:59.15 is the time they're trying to beat. That was the fastest time in the last heat. Going nicely in lane 2 is George Barfield from Winchester, a homeboy, a 5:06.80. He looks like a strong breaststroker as well, and I think he's catching up those boys in 4 and 5 a little bit, but not quite there. Right, we're on to the second half of the breaststroke. Really strong turn from Aidan in lane 4. He took a bit of distance out of Anton in 5. Going nicely in 2 still is George Barfield, obviously a strong breaststroker. But they're all good breaststrokers, actually. Often in the breaststroke, you'll see that 1 or 2 of the swimmers get left behind a bit here, because I mentioned it earlier. The difference in the speed between the fastest and the slowest breaststroker is more than any of the other strokes. And that can mean that your weak breaststroker falls off the back a bit, but none of them have at all. Aidan's never quite caught up Anton, but he's as close as he's been so far. I'd say he's got 20 or 30 centimetres in it. It's about a second, actually, so maybe a little bit more than that. And a good, strong turn there from Anton. He's a gutsy boy because he's had Aidan on his heels throughout, but he's actually beginning to press ahead just a little bit. It's going to be a test of Anton to see whether he's gone too early, because we've still got another 75 metres to go. Good swim in lane 2, George Barfield. He's done really well, especially as he's got no one on his left-hand side as we look at the moment. So with 50 metres to go, that was a dominant swim from Anton from Maidenhead, a dominant last 50, I should say. And can he keep that domination? He's looking tired. He's tiring a little bit. There's a lot of breathing happening. Aiden's still breathing just once to every 3 strokes, so he's looking pretty strong. But I think there's just a little bit too much distance. And in the free, we've had a very good swim in lane 3 from Alan Paramanzo of Tylehurst. In fact, Alan might get up to second. In lane 5, Anton Supov, will he break 5 minutes? He certainly will. Second place is Aidan McCarthy, and in third place, Alan Paramanzo. Oh, good swim, boys. I'm tired on your behalf.
Heat 3, referee.
In lane 1, we got Daniel Wilson from Guildford, Nathan Wolford from Wickham in 2, Matthew Smith from Littlehampton in 3, Joseph Dollamore from Portsmouth in 4, Charlie King from Thanet in 5, Ellis Knowles from Leatherhead in 6, Solomon Kendrick from Shiverers in 7, Benedict Witt from Winchester in 8. Very strong fly from Solomon Kendrick of Shiverers. He's got a big brother who's very good at the fly as well. Big brother's very good at everything, but so is Solomon, by the way. 4:57.94 is what we're aiming for to take the lead in this event by comparison to the last heats. So we've, I'm afraid, I don't have access to who made the British finals. I'd like to keep an eye on that, but it's difficult. We had 10 of them who made it, actually. I'll mention the medalists now, just so I don't miss them. From other heats they'll be in, or some of them at least. Isaac Thompson was a silver medalist in this race. Aaron Bissett was a bronze medalist in this race, a British. Philip Nowacki, a silver medal. Thomas Hawkins got a bronze medal. Jan Poulton got a silver medal. I mean, so we've got an absolutely brilliant group of boys in this. But sorry for moving away from the race. I tell you what, Solomon Kendrick certainly isn't just a fly swimmer. He's absolutely dominating the race. Let's see how he goes with the other strokes. Going nice, he's in lane 7. In lane 5 is Charlie King from Thanet. He's a 4:56.89 entry. The fastest in the field is 4:56.29. The fastest swim to date in the last race was Anton Supov of 4:57.94. Now Solomon has never, well, he may have broken it, but his entry time is just a 5:02.19. He's in the lead by, a long way. How far is he in the lead? About 4 or 5, well, it must be more than 5 seconds. Going nicely in lane 4, is looking pretty strong and long. He's having a bit of trouble with the barrier in lane 4, is Joseph Dollamore of Portsmouth. He's got Amanda Booth coaching him, or amongst the coaching team at Portsmouth, so there's going to be some strong breaststroke there. In lane 5, we've got Charlie King and Ellis Knowles in 6. Those three are having a nice race of their own. But Solomon Kendrick, goodness me, that is a big lead. He's at 2:59. Oh, how far ahead is he? He's 7 seconds ahead of the field. And we've got, how long have we got? Another 150 metres. Brilliant turn in lane 4 there, by the way, from Joseph Dollamore, 15 years old, from Portsmouth. He's taken a chunk out of the boys in lanes 5 and 6 on that particular turn and length. Now, I said it was 7 seconds, I think, between for the field at the last turn. Now, even if he is catching up Solomon, he's not going to overtake him. I'd be stunned if he did. Solomon's got a big lead. He's got a 7 or 8 metre lead. It was 7 seconds between them at the last turn, and now it's 6. So he has taken Well done to Joseph for taking some time out. He's the fastest swimmer in the pool at the moment, but I think Solomon's probably just too far ahead. There was a good turn there in lane 6 from Ellis Knowles and Leatherhead. He's slightly got ahead of Charlie King from Thanet. Charlie's the baby of the field. And Charlie is in lane 5. Now, remember, with 50 metres to go, 4:57.94 is the time we're looking to, for Solomon to go to be the fastest swimmer to date. Now, I spotted the time was a 4:15, so what does that mean? It means he's got to go anything under 42 seconds to take the lead. I think he's going to go well under 4:50, by the way. This is an unbelievable swim from Solomon. He's a 5:02 entry. He's going to take 15 seconds out of it. Boom, Ola, Solomon, Kendrick, that's awesome. Big round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. 16 seconds off of entry. Joseph Dollimore, good swim in second place. And in third is Ellis Knowles. Well done, boys. 4:56.40. That's nosebleed territory.
Right, let's go, Sid.
Heat 4, referee.
To tell you how dominant that swim was, to go faster from this heat, the winning swimmer is going to have to go 4.5 seconds under their entry time. That was a really awesome swim from Solomon, probably the swim of the day. Well done, Solomon. Lane 1, Veer Kassan from City of Milton Keynes. 2, Peter Conte from Hastings. Daniel Fallon in 3. Harry Cox and Daniels from Epsom. Lane 5's got the lead after 50. That's Hayden Annan from Monson. Lane 4's Harry Cox from Thanet. Liam Smith in 6 from Wickham District. Finley Richardson from Guildford in 7. Finley's only 13 years old. And actually, Harry Cox in lane 4 is only 14 years old. They're in amongst the big boys. Sam Martin Young from Sevenoaks in lane 8. Big, strong fly swim here from Annan Hayden. He's only 15, a 4:51.82, but he looks strong, doesn't he? He's got 3 seconds on the field. Has he? Yeah, he's got 3 seconds on the field after the first 100, but, you know, who knows? I don't know. I haven't seen Hayden swim before, so I don't know whether he's going to get caught out with one of the other strokes, but he's certainly got himself well ahead. Going very nicely in lane 8 is Sam Martin Young, as is lane 3, Daniel Fallon, as is lane 7, Finley Richardson. They're all going nicely. The lead's pretty strong, though, still, from Hayden Annan. He's a 4:51.42 entry. Remember what I said, that it's 4:46.40 is the time we're looking for to take the lead in this event. Lane 3 is Daniel Fallon. It's a tough race for him because he's got no one around him. Those boys in 7 and 8 are enjoying each other's company. They're going to make each other go faster. Finley Richardson from Guildford, just 13 years old, a 4:53 entry. And Sam Martin Young from Sevenoaks. Who's got the turn there? Looks like Finley just about got the turn, but they're pretty neck and neck. Really good swim in the backstroke from Daniel Fallon. He's definitely caught some of Hayden Annan's lead up. But I say some, he's got a lot more to do to get actually into the lead. That was a pretty dominant swim in lane 7 in the last lane as well, last length as well from Finley Richardson. Lane 4 beginning to come through nicely as well. Harry Cox from Thanet. 1 and 2 have got a nice race with each other. Veer Kassan and Peter Conte. They're 16 and 17. Maybe Peter Conte just pushing ahead with the breaststroke. But it's still Hayden Annan. That lead has not really been eaten into. I think it's probably just shortening a little bit, but he's still pretty dominant. His breaststroke is fine, I think. He's in the lead in lane 3, second place. As we approach, we're beyond the halfway point now. Daniel Fallon in second, and in third place, where's third place? In lane 7, Finley Richardson from Guildford. Yeah, we're stretching the lead out now. Got, where are we? We're going to the backstroke, the free now, I think, with Hayden. So, unless something, we've got a great race for second, haven't we? We've got 4 of them within half a second of each other. Let's see who we've got there. We've got Peter Conte in 2. We had a very good turn from Daniel Fallon in 3. 7 looks strong. Finley Richardson, he's been in second most of the race. But actually, we really should concentrate our attention here on Hayden Anand. This has been a dominant race. He's half a length ahead of the field now. 4:46.40 is the time he's trying to beat with 50. So he's going to have to go about 44 seconds for the last 50 not to take the lead in this. He's going to do that with ease, I would think. Lane 2, Peter Conte. He's a bit of a slow burner. I beg your pardon. And it's lane 3, Daniel Fallon. Is a bit of a slow burner, pushing through now, but Daniel's actually doing well in 2 as well. But we're approaching the finish with a half a length lead. Well done, Hayden. What a race. He's done it all by himself. 4:51 entry, 4:42.02, 9 seconds off of entry. Brilliant race for second place in lane 3, I think. Lane 3, Daniel Fallon, second place. Third place, Harry Cox. Good swim, boys. 4:42.02.
Heat 5, referee.
Okay, in lane 1, we got Charlie Toms from Maxwell, Charlie Clark in 2 from Guildford, William Dean from Maidenhead in 3, Jake Chesworth from Maxwell in 4, he's a very good breaststroker, Leon Taylor in 5 from Shiverers, Samuel Lowe from Guernsey in 6, Nathaniel Reeve in 7 from Woking, in lane 8, Justin Christie. I think our lead's in 6. Not sure. That's Samuel Lowe from Guernsey. I think he's got a little bit of a lead. In fact, he certainly does have a lead. He's probably got a body length lead, in fact. 2's going nicely. Charlie Clark from Guildford. But it's a pretty dominant fly swim there. 101.85. That wouldn't go badly in a 100 fly heat. 2's going nicely. Charlie Clark, I mentioned him a moment ago, from Guildford. And in lane 8 from Leatherhead, Justin Christie. About a body length in it, maybe a body length and a half as we approach the end of the backstroke. There was a really strong turn there from Justin Christie of Leatherhead. After this heat, we're going to give you some results from earlier on, just so you're ready for that. But now's 2 body lengths ahead, I'd say, after the backstroke in lane 6 for Samuel Lowe of Guernsey. He's at 1:36 at that point, 1:30, about 3 seconds ahead. I got my, after the first half of the backstroke, I should say, not the backstroke as a whole. Still 2 and 8 have got second and third, but it's very, very tight. 2 is Charlie Clark from Guildford, and 8 is Justin Christie from Leatherhead, but it could be anyone's. William Dean's a very good breaststroke, as memory serves, so he might well get in amongst it. This is, honestly, Samuel Lowe first and joint second with every other swimmer. Can they get in amongst them? It pretty much is, isn't it, Wendy? It's first place all alone and 7 people competing for 7th. Jake Chesworth going very well now in lane 4. He's a strong breaststroker. Justin Christie also still looking strong. He's an all-round swimmer, certainly is. But holding on pretty well in lane 6 is Samuel Lowe. Really strong swim here from William Dean. I mentioned him a minute ago. I don't want to take anything away from William Dean, but his brother is an Olympic gold medalist, I believe a double Olympic gold medalist, in fact. He is definitely catching up ground, and him and Jake Chesworth are helping each other with this breaststroke. This is turning out to be a good race because they're taking a lot out of Samuel Lowe now. William Dean in particular, but Jake Chesworth is going nicely as well. In fact, my money says that William Dean will have caught up 10 metres and will be in the lead at the end of this length. I might be wrong, but I don't think I will be. He's going brilliantly now. This is an absolutely awesome leg. He's gone in the lead now with about 10 metres of breaststroke to go. It's a dangerous game, though. If you put too much in your strongest stroke, you can shoot your bolt for the stroke to come after. William Dean has a small lead over Samuel Lowe, third place Jake Chesworth. Now, this is where they're burning, they're getting tired, and our training hours come into, they become important. So, William Dean, what is he, half a body length ahead? I think there was actually a better turn there from Samuel Lowe and caught a bit of the distance up. But with 50 metres to go, it's William Dean probably by half a body length. This could go to either. And Jake Chesworth, tough swimming by himself now in lane 4. He's going to come third, but I don't think he can get first or second. William Dean actually had a really good turn there, and he took some distance out of the field. I think he took a good chunk out of the field there, in fact, and he's got himself in a pretty dominant position. Now, 4:42.02 is our time. And that is going to be smashed. William Dean, 4:35.33. That is 12 seconds better than his entry time. Great swim, Samuel. You led that throughout, or through most of it, and deserve big pat on the back. And Jake Chesworth in third. Good swim, boys.
I have some multi-classification results here. In the men's 100 metres breaststroke, in second place, Aidan Stanbrook, and in first place, Matthew Davies. In the men's 100 metres butterfly, in second place, Aidan Stanbrook, and in first place, Thomas Navarro Barber. And in the ladies' 200 individual medley, in second place, Amanda Reedhead, and in first place, Callie Ann Warrington. I'd now like to announce the swimmers for the final heat of this event. In lane 1, we have Luke Poulton from Wickham District. Lane 2, Tom Hawkins from Royal Tunbridge Wells, Monson. Lane 3, Joe Buxton from Reading. Lane 4, Oliver Pope from Thanet. Lane 5, David Allen from Sevenoaks. Lane 6, Isaac Thompson from Tigers, Jersey. Lane 7, Hassan Al Obeidli Abdulaz from Portsmouth, North Sea. And in lane 8, Max El Mokadem from Royal Tunbridge Wells, Monson. Heat 6, referee.
Right, well, we've got Luke Poulton in 1. I love this. This is my favourite race of the day. Luke Poulton in 1 from Wickham. Tom Hawkins from Monson in 2. He's a British finalist in this event. Joe Buxton, brilliant breaststroker. Let's watch out for that as we come up. And he always comes strong at the end from Reading. 4, Oliver Pope from Thanet. A big, strong favourite for this race. 7 seconds quicker than anybody else on entry time. At the first 50, it's Tom Hawkins from RTW Monson in the lead, just ahead of Oliver Pope. David Allen in 5 from Sevenoaks. In lane 6 is Isaac Thompson from Tigers, Jersey. He was a British finalist. Abdulaziz Hassan Al Obeidli from Portsmouth, North Sea in lane 7. And Max El Mokadem from Royal Tunbridge Wells, Monson. And Max was a finalist in the 400 IM as well. We got a stellar field here, and I tell you what, it is pretty much a dead heat between 2 and 4 and 5. Tom Hawkins in 2 from Monson, Oliver Pope in 4 from Thanet, and David Allen from Sevenoaks in lane 5. 4:35.33 is the time to win. And I can tell you that this event has been won from the penultimate heat in the past. All right, I'm getting confused. I got Wendy waving at her daughter, thinking she's waving at me. Okay, as we come through the backstroke, and that was a good strong 50 metres there in lane 4 from Oliver Pope from Thanet, 4:29.98. He's the only one in the group in this heat who's broken the 4:30 barrier before. But there's a really strong swim out there by Isaac Thompson. 14 years old, by the way, Isaac Thompson, out there in Tigers jersey. He swum in the British final with Max El Mokadem out in lane 8. Those two will know each other very well, and in fact, Isaac Thompson, baby of the field, has got himself into a lead. A bit of a glide there into the wall, and the turn was better in lane 4 from Oliver Pope. And we move into the breaststroke. Now, I can tell you, in lane 3, is he too far behind? But Joe Buxton is a strong, strong breaststroker, and he's going to do some damage to the field here, I would have thought. You never know, because he might have had to push himself too hard in the other strokes, but we shall see. In lane 3 now, so I beg your pardon, lane 4. I'm getting all mixed up here. Oliver Pope, he's beginning to dominate a little bit. We've got a good swim out here in lane 1 from Luke Poulton as well. He's really taken some distance out of the field, and those two boys in the lead are getting caught up a bit, but not enough, I would say. Oliver Pope, he looks strong. In 6, Isaac Thompson. He's still held on to that second place. He was second place at the halfway point. In fact, he was in the lead at the halfway point. I made a big deal out of Joe Buxton's breaststroke, and it certainly is strong. He's catching up a lot, but it's worth looking at Luke Poulton. He hasn't got away from Luke Poulton. He's catching up a great deal of space, but I think it isn't quite enough to get into the gold medal position. So, where are we? We have 100 metres to go. Pretty much neck and neck for second between Joe Buxton and Isaac Thompson. But dominating, I think, really is Oliver Pope. But we need to keep an eye on the times, because I can tell you from experience that this race can be won from the penultimate heat. 4:35.33 was what William Dean did. So we need to keep a good close eye on that. With 50 metres to go, he's going to have to go pretty quickly. He's bang on 4 minutes. So anything under 35 seconds for the last 50 should do it for Oliver Pope. Got a very strong swim here in lane 3. Joe Buxton, he is strong and fit. I made a big fuss about his breaststroke, but his free has been outstanding. Lane 2 going nicely as well. Tom Hawkins. I probably haven't made enough fuss of Tom, because Tom's got himself into the 3rd place position. But as we approach the end, 4:35.33 is the time to beat. Boom! Oliver Pope in 1st place. Well done. 2nd place is Joe Buxton. And in 3rd place, 4:35.49 is Tom Hawkins. Good swim, boys. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. I'm going to leave that now to Wendy, our brilliant announcer, and to the officials. And thank you very much. I'll see you in an hour or two.
Okay, I have just got some more results here. It's the women's 16 and under 200 individual medley results. In 3rd place was Sophie King from Woking. In 2nd place, Holly Widows from East Grinstead. And in 1st place, Tegan Matthews from Guildford City. And then the open age group for the same event, the 200 IM. In 3rd place, Holly Widows from East Grinstead. In 2nd place, Tegan Matthews from Guildford City. And in 1st place, Caitlin Ebbage from Tonbridge. That concludes session 1. Session 2, the warm-up will start at 1 p.m. and swimming or racing will start at 2 p.m. If you are leaving now, please do remember to take all of your rubbish with you and any belongings. Same for the swimmers. If you are leaving now, please make sure you've got all your belongings with you and any rubbish that you may have as well. Thank you to everybody that's volunteered so far, and look forward to seeing you all for session 2.